We're here tonight to honor our very own George Frazier as he embarks on his next big adventure, retirement, or hanging out in a deer stand near you. We'll proceed with well wishes shortly. First and most certainly, we'd like to wish in retirement, George, that you'll have more time to spend with family. And to your family, a special thanks is due from your baseball family and your television family for sharing George with us all of these seasons. Fans, please welcome warmly and help us thank George's family here on the field. George's wife, Kay. His daughter, Georgia. Son, Parker. His son, Brian, and his wife, Jenny. Sitting out of order. Nicole, and George's son as well, Matt. Thank you very much for being here. You know, folks, it's hard to believe that Frazier and I have been together for 14 years. This is George's 19th year calling the Rockies, and he worked for the Minnesota Twins briefly prior to coming to Colorado, where he's had a long love affair with all of you. And partner, you have been a confident, look at me when I talk to you. You've been a confidant on many topics, as you know, and a great friend. I know that'll continue. George and I talk about 4 times a week, in season and out of season. And in the grand tradition of baseball broadcasting, you have been an irrepressible character as well. I've teared up in laughter at many of your stories, as I'm sure all of you have as well. And a footnote to those stories, some are actually true, told in your Oklahomese. I'm still looking for that Oklahoma dictionary, by the way. Broadcasting, of course, is George's second career. Originally hailing from Oklahoma City, he grew up in Springfield, Missouri. George went on to pitch at the University of Oklahoma, and then in 415 games over 10 seasons in the big leagues from 1978 to 1987 for the Cardinals, the Yankees, the Indians, the Chicago Cubs, and finally the Minnesota Twins. He made 2 trips to the World Series with both the Yankees in '81 and the Minnesota Twins in '87, earning a World Championship in his final year as a player. As you can imagine, through the course of 2 enduring and distinguished careers, George's list of friends is long. So for those in the ballpark, please direct your attention to Rockies vision as George's friends around the game send him their best wishes.
Congratulations, George, on 100 years here with the Rockies. It's going to be good to see you right off into the sunset.
I don't talk baseball with very many people, and personal stuff, but George is always there for me. I still talk to him to this day. He's a solid influence.
I can't thank you enough for what you've meant to me personally. You know, just always a good smile and a good laugh and a warm heart to come to, and you've always embraced me so well. I just can't thank you enough, man, and I just wish you the best as this next chapter unfolds of your life.
George, congratulations, 20 years in the booth. It's amazing to me.
George loves the game. He loves talking about the game, and I will miss seeing him here when I come to Denver. I'll miss seeing him in Atlanta because we always had great conversations. Actually, they weren't conversations. I just did a lot of listening.
Everybody who ever met George Frazier will tell you the same thing. He will tell you exactly what's on his mind. So we always enjoyed the privilege of spending time, as my mother would say, chewing the fat about baseball, players, and everything that goes with it.
Honestly, George, I love you. I've learned so much from you over the years. You're a dear friend of mine, and I hope that we're friends for a lot longer until we're no longer on the face of this earth.
He was a good teammate, and that's one of the good things that, you know, when you leave either the playing field or the booth, if people said that you were a great teammate, that says a lot.
I wish you all the best, my brother. I appreciate everything you've done around here, and it was always good to see your face.
Hi, Georgie. This is your first and probably worst Major League roommate, Vuk. heard you retired, and I'd like to really congratulate you. It was evident your passion for the game when I first met you, your charisma that you'd be in the game long after you were finished playing, and it all worked out. I'm tickled for you.
I wish nothing but the best for you and your family. Hope the retirement is everything you think it will be. And good luck, pal, and hope our paths cross again in the not-too-distant future.
We're sure going to miss you, pal.
Congratulations. Enjoy the time off. I'm sure you won't take total time off, but have a good one. I'll see you down the road.
We're friends for life. And you know what? This isn't a goodbye because we're going to see each other down the road. All this is happy trails, partner. Look forward to seeing you again.
I enjoyed being your friend, and it's always fun having you around. Congrats again.
You should have heard what they said about him behind closed doors. That was an awesome tribute to you and what you mean, George, to so many. Ultimately, it is your relationship with the fans that gave you your special place in our hearts. So come on up here, say something to your family, your friends, and your fans. Ladies and gentlemen, my partner, George Frazier.
First and foremost, I want to say thank to the ownership group. First, the late Jerry McMorris, Mary McMorris, Dick and Charlie Montford, Greg Fiesel, because I've had a blast doing Rockies games. I'd like to say thank you to the managers, coaches, players, clubhouse personnel that are all dear friends of mine. I especially want to say thank you to my family that shared me with you for 19 years. And now they get it all the time. It's going to be fun. You know, when I put on a uniform 40 years ago, I never felt I was entitled to anything. I always thought it was a privilege. And since I've been here for 19 years, I never felt I was entitled to anything. I always thought it was a privilege to do these ball games. And you, the fans, thank you. We'll see you down the road.
All those years in the booth, y'all thought we were the same size, huh? Before you go, George, the Rockies and Root Sports are honored to present retirement gifts to you. Colorado Rockies owner, chairman, and CEO Dick Monfort, Rockies Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer Greg Fiesel, Root Sports Vice President and General Manager David Woodman, and Root Sports Executive Producer Ken Miller are here to present much-deserved gifts of appreciation. Of course, what mantle would be complete without a microphone dating back to when you started in the business in 1914? George, we also would like to accept this personalized jersey commemorating your 19 seasons in the Colorado Rockies booth. George, congratulations one more time. Let's hear it for George Frazier, 19 years.
Congratulations to George Frazier. Plenty more to come on the Rockies pregame report. We'll kick off Fan Friday. It's coming up next. Broadcasting Rockies baseball. We're getting set for Fan Friday. Doug Marino, our resident statistician. It's time to stump him. Tweet your questions in. Hashtag Fan Friday. A gorgeous Friday night here in Denver, Colorado. We're getting set for the final series of the season here at Coors Field. That'll happen with the Dodgers in town for 3. Of course, they lead the National League West. Looking to get things going tonight, leading off for the Dodgers, it will be Chase Utley. He'll be playing third base tonight, leading off with his .215 batting average. Let's get you the Southwest lineup. After Chase Utley, Jimmy Rollins will be hitting second. He'll be playing shortstop. Adrian Gonzalez will be hitting third, playing first. Howie Kendrick cleaning things up today at second base. Andre Ethier in right field. Carl Crawford will be in left field. Yasmani Grandal will be doing the catching for Mike Bolsinger tonight. And Jock Peterson will be in center field. David Hale will be pitching tonight for the Rockies, and as we wait for Drew and George to get back to the booth from our pregame ceremonies, Corey Sullivan joining me as well.
Yeah, David Hale's really going to have to focus on his fastball command tonight. He's got to work both sides of the plate, and much like the Pittsburgh Pirates who were just in town, he's really got to own the inside corner. Off of that, he can then use his slider down and away from the right-handed hitters, backdoor to righties, and that's how he's going to have to attack the Dodger lineup tonight.
All right, Corey, thank you so much. Drew and George are ready to roll. We will set it up to you guys.
George is a little out of breath. The last time he jogged was when he got off the field in the '87 World Series. First pitch of the game, ground ball to Noah, and one pitch, one out. Gotta like that.
Yeah, I started to say at the end of that, and let's kick the Dodgers' butt. So I'll just say it right now. How's that?
Let's take a look quickly. We'll do our particulars. Take a look at the Rockies defensive alignment tonight. Corey Dickerson is in left field. Charlie Blackmon in center, and Cargo is in right. A little different look in the infield. Again, Adames at shortstop for Reyes, who has some Achilles tendonitis. At second base, Noah. LeMahieu had to lead the ball game. Got a little shoulder issue. Hopes to play tomorrow, if not tomorrow, on Sunday. Heard that dive in a little while back. It's affecting him when he swings. Jimmy Rollins back in the lineup. The hand feeling a little bit better. And Rollins drives this ball to left center field, and it's going to touch down and roll all the way to the wall. That typically is Triple's alley. And Rollins is on his way to third, and the throw's not going to get him. So Jimmy Rollins, not unfamiliar in his career with triples, delivers one there with one out against David Hale.
That happens quick, too. He's one of those power bats, another veteran player they got from Philadelphia, along with his buddy Utley, and he just sliced this ball into the outfield. Jimmy struggled this year. If you look at his average, 221. But the extra base hits are still there. 13 home runs, 41 RBIs.
This is a deep Dodger team, as there are guys on the bench that would start for a lot of different teams. Here's Adrian Gonzalez, and Adrian takes a pitch inside from David Hale, ball one. Oh, partner, congrats again.
Thanks. It was a very, I don't want to say deserved, but it was a fun time down there. I enjoyed that. I particularly enjoyed it that my family could be there and be a part of it. And it means a lot to me that the root staff and group did that with a lot of the announcers and former players, former teammates of mine. It means a lot when you hear your peers speak about you, so it was a good time.
And truth be told, you saw the other video.
I can't wait for that one to watch it in full. I've got the uncut version.
Yeah,
it's going to be pretty good. I'm kind of looking forward to the version, I'm looking for the unedited, because Pete Vukovich was my very first roommate in big leagues. So that's going to be fun. Donnie, when he came up, was a rookie, stayed in my house with me in New York. So we've had some long-standing friendships in baseball, and that's what it's about when it's all said and done.
Well, there's not been a town that I have been in with you in the last 14 years, and before that doing college baseball with you many years ago in the late 80s, that you don't know not just one person but a plethora of people. So
I tried to run merit a lot of places. I never won any races, so I just moved.
This ball is pulled to first. That's a nice stop. Now Rollins is going to come home, and not a play on Jimmy from Morneau. So a run here in the first, and that's now 6 consecutive games that the opponent has scored in the first frame against the Rockies.
I know, and that's the tough part, trying to control early parts of the ball game. This ball got scalded. Morneau picked it. Rollins held up for second. Then he just said, nah, I'm going to go get the out at first base, take the out. Adrian picks up RBI number 88.
2 outs, nobody on. Howie Kendrick. The Rockies were out in L.A. obviously a little more than a week ago, and Rollins could just pinch run a little bit at that point. Howie Kendrick wasn't back yet. Now he's back. They're getting healthy at the right time.
Well, they are. And Corey Seager, the youngster, has swung a bat extremely well. Over 300, the home runs, the RBIs, in the absence of Rollins. Chuck Peterson's average has dropped, but the home runs and RBIs have kind of leveled off somewhat. I think that second time through the league as a youngster is very difficult.
Here's the 2-0 to Kendrick, and he slashes at this one and fouls it off. What a beautiful night for your ceremony on the field, and a little baseball game.
And fireworks.
And fireworks to follow. It is, let's say, 70 or 78? What do you got, George?
I got 77, 78, 78, 78. It's 6:16 downtown Denver.
Back up the middle, and Kendrick has a base hit off David Hale. And that'll bring up Andre Ethier. I asked some folks, I said, who's the MVP of position players for the Dodgers? It's pretty easy when you talk about pitching. You can make them co-MVPs.
Yeah, right.
We know who we're talking about with Greinke and Kershaw, but who would be the position player MVP? Naturally you gravitate, I think, to Adrian because he got off to the great start. He drives in so many runs. But some folks believe that Andre Ethier, with the injuries they had in the outfield, playing a kid in Jock Peterson, he's been really steady.
He's carried their ball club at times. The numbers don't necessarily reflect, but you think they traded away Kemp. That opened up the avenue for him. They had Crawford. Peterson comes on strong. So it was tough, where we're going to play him. And then they start playing him on an everyday basis again, and that's the biggest thing. Crawford was hurt. I mean, he had a ton of guys that were out of the lineup, and when they were out, he was the guy they turned to.
Yeah, remember, he was like the odd man out last year.
Yeah, he hits here. Boy, does he hit here at Coors Field, too.
Yes, he does. And he's really hitting right-handed pitching in particular.
You could see them mixing and matching in the postseason. Now it looks like they'll match up with the Mets, and the Mets, depending on how they align their rotation. I mean, Steven Matz is the only left-hander. He's a kid. Now he's a darn good kid, but does he pitch out of the bullpen, or does he get a start? If he doesn't get a start, it's all a right-handed rotation.
What if they piggyback him with Harvey or Syndergaard, one of the kids? Would that be something?
This is looped to shallow right. Cargo got a good jump. He makes the catch to end the inning. Jimmy Rollins with his 114th career triple, and he scores on a ground out by Gonzalez. 1-0 LA. Bottom of the first inning. Let's take a look at Walt Weiss's Southwest batting order. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. So Blackman will lead things off. He's got 41 stolen bases. Christian Adames will bat second. Cargo will bat third. Nolan Arenado fourth. Then Dickerson in the 5 spot. Morneau will bat behind him. Tom Murphy 6 for 12 the last 3 games, including 3 home runs. Rafael Ynoa will bat in front of David Hale. Third time Mike Bolsinger has faced the Rockies this year. He threw a gem at them back in May. 6 innings of shutout baseball at Dodger Stadium. He did George pitch here in early June with mixed results.
Well, he's got to throw strikes. If he does that and works ahead, he's going to have pretty good success. Fastball would range at different times in the low to mid 90s. That is 89. He will spin it.
And a broken bat. 3-hopper to Gonzalez, and he drops. Got soft hands, but Bolsinger didn't hold on to the baseball, so Charlie reaches.
Yeah, not the way you want to start a ball game. Very fundamental baseball. Ground ball hit to the right side. Pitcher gets it. You got to go over there. You got to cover. That ball took a kind of a funny hop up off of the glove of Adrian, and he threw the ball perfectly to Bolsinger, and it just popped out of the glove.
That'll be on Bolsinger.
Should be. We'll wait to find out.
Saw one of those yesterday where pitcher didn't handle a little flip.
Cost you.
And that one was easy. I mean, his foot was already on the bag. It is an error on Bolsinger. See if the Rockies can take advantage. Adames at the plate. Shortened up at third is Chase Utley. That's right. I did not misspeak. Chase Utley. Second game in the big leagues at third base. Forever the second baseman for the Phils. His first game was earlier this week. And Gonzalez is still going to get the force.
Putting it too hard.
Yep. Chase Utley did have 123 minor league games in AAA in 2002 at third base.
Now, ball gets bunted this hard, and you've got a very athletic, strong arm, left-handed fielding first baseman, so it made it pretty easy. And they just threw a bullet right to Rollins and then hung on to the baseball.
So Cargo will come up with Adames at first.
Where Bolsinger stood out has been against the National League West. 4-1, 331 earned run average. The West has hit just 223 against him.
And Cargo loops this to left. That's going to drop. Stopping at second, Adames. So 2 on for Arenado, the RBI machine, leading the National League with 117. Here's more on Bolsinger.
Well, when he got back up to the big leagues, his last 3 starts, 13 innings, 10 runs, 9 of those earned. He's walked 9. That's been the biggest problem. The walks have come back to bite him. 11 strikeouts in that 13 innings pitched. His road earned run average 326. The home earned run average 327. So he has been pretty consistent.
And a pitch on the outer edge for a strike. Bolsinger not overpowering at all in this era of 95 plus. Which with Arizona last year. Got 10 ball games, 9 starts, 1-6 with a 5.5. It's a 2-strike count now on Nolan. 2 for 8 lifetime against Bolsinger. 2 for 4 yesterday in the finale against the Pirates. Drove in a couple of runs. Pirates back at it this afternoon against the Cubs, and they won 3-2. Wow. 51st save for Mark Melancon, who had to deal with the 1-out runner at third in the 9th, tying run. And he struck out the next 2 hitters to lock it down for the Pirates. Are they ever rolling? Yep, yesterday Nolan moved over 100 career doubles. Bottom of 1-0 LA. Two balls, 2 strikes. Good speed on board. Christian Adames can run. He's at second. Cargo, the trail runner. Usually a curveball count for Bolsinger. He goes to it, and this ball's pulled foul. Nolan in the Cal League drove in 120, which led minor league baseball that year. That was kind of a little glimpse into the future, wasn't it?
It was a big glimpse. Goldschmidt was in that league too. You gotta remember that. There were some guys in there that could really play. Would swing the bat. I think Nolan was MVP of the league. Goldschmidt was the player that
slowly hit to third. Utley's going to run to the bag and get the force. And now they're 2 outs, and Corey Dickerson will try to pick up Nolan. Here's the Dodger defense tonight. Crawford in left. Jock Peterson plays a good center field. Andre Ether's an outstanding outfielder still as well. Utley, as we talked about, at third. His running mate from Phillies at short. Jimmy Rollins, Howie Kendrick at second. Adrian Gonzalez in the 30-plus infield. And Yasmani Grandal, he's the puppy in the infield. He's behind the plate.
Somewhat of an interesting matchup. Dickerson has hit 400 with runners in scoring position. Bolsinger, the opposition with 2 outs and runners in scoring position, have hit 181. I like the matchup. I like Dickerson in this spot.
Now, Corey, the last couple of games, has really swung the bat well. 7 for 14, in fact, in the Pittsburgh series, including a home run. And he takes strike one. Home plate umpires Kerwin Danley. Kerwin's been around a long time. DJ Rayburn at first. Stu Shoewater is at second, and the man who stared down Madison Bumgarner's at third, Joe West, or at least attempted to. You see that yesterday?
Yeah, I watched it.
Looked like an old stare down before gunfight in the West. This ball's up the middle and on through a base hit. Cargo around third. He'll score. Going first to third's Arenado. Dickerson comes through. He ties it up in the first. For Corey, his 24th RBI.
I just mentioned prior to the at-bat, hitting over 400 with runners in scoring position. And Bolslinger doing the same thing. He's pitching very well, only 181, but Corey took this ball back up the middle, a hanging breaking ball. Never got to the location Grandal wanted it, outside part of the plate and down. Although the ball was hit on the ground, it was hit right back up the middle.
That will bring up Justin Morneau. Last 11 games, he's hitting .417. That's inside. He's hit a lot of balls, George, right where Corey just hit that ball. Now Rollins will swing over play almost up the middle, but Kendrick is pulled way over against Morneau. Again, Bolsinger not a real hard thrower. And Justin stays off that. It's 2-0. Outside 3-0. Rockies will not see Kershaw, who won yesterday but went only 5 innings.
That's okay.
They won't see Greinke either. He's going to go.
And that's okay.
Yeah, Monday in San Francisco. There goes the runner, 3-0, and that misses ball 4. So Corey slid, but it's now a bases loaded situation for Tom Murphy, who's swinging a hot bat. Who wants tacos? When the Rockies score 7 or more, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day. Do it between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special at Masa Taco Bell. Murphy with an abundance of power. We've seen him hit it out in center field, and left center. And a check swing ground ball to Rollins. It's frustrating when that happens. And Tom Murphy is fit to be tied. 1-1 on the base hit by Dickerson. We'll go to the second.
RBI single last inning. Well, today is a special Fan Friday. Today is the Fan Friday that we are going to try to stump Doug Marino. If you don't know who Doug Marino is in charge of baseball information inside the Rockies play-by-play booth. Okay, so Doug, my very first question to you, give us the first A, Rocky, and the last Z, Rocky, right now.
All right, alphabetically. Okay, we got Kurt Abbott, former shortstop.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah, and then with apologies to Greg Zahn, we have Todd Zeal.
Nice.
Yes.
Second
you get something a little tougher.
I got another question. One more question for you, Doug, because I'm going to get you tonight. You got to name George's first out in the big leagues and his last out.
You know the first out.
I know the
Guy with
first
a slider
was a pitcher, Ross Grimsley.
It was
Sammy Mejias.
Sammy
But
Mejias.
go ahead.
Really? All right. And then
you can look it up again.
George misremembered.
And then
that wouldn't be
and then the last guy I got out was Willie Wilson.
Is that right?
Yep. Got Willie. Yep. Got Willie to ground out.
It was the World Series, '87. You got to go back.
Oh, you want the World Series?
See.
Are we talking regular season, Philly, or World Series?
Actually, Dougie, if you can figure out who George got out in the World Series, I think in 1981, that would be a good one to find out, too.
Yeah, there was. Absolutely. One.
That's not very nice. It's George's night.
What?
That's not
We're
very
friends
nice.
here.
You know, Spilly, it's like I tell everybody else. Just stick around. I'll show you both rings. Oh, come on.
Oh, wow. Carl Crawford.
Oh, got it.
They got it. Beautiful play by Arenado. What a play by Nolan. Everybody in the Dodger dugout's laughing, say, oh, look at that infield hit Carl got. Oh, Carl took too wide a turn. He's done.
He thought the ball had gotten all the way down the line. It was hit really soft, though. Watch Nolan. Get out of the way, Joe. Watch Nolan right now. Going to pop up, and he says, hey, Carl, you went a little too far.
Put that on
Carl,
his reel.
you went a little up. Carl, you went a little too far. Yeah, I know. Just let him tag you.
Every night, something new.
Put a star. You never did count those. Yesterday you said you were going to count up all the stars by your night.
No, I have to do that before the end of the year. Yasmani Grandal at the plate. That's a great play. Seriously, that is just.
Well, a lot of guys would have just picked the ball up and held it.
Yeah, they'd eat it. So a base hit for Crawford, and he's out 5-3 on the turn. Two 2-0 on Grandal, and that's in there. 2-1. Stump Dougie. That's going to be hard to do tonight.
No.
Yeah, because you're going to ask some off-the-wall, obscure questions.
Me? No, I wouldn't do that to him.
Do we get to participate?
Sure you do.
Kind of asking out loud of our producer Mike Fox. So we get to participate? Okay. Good pitch by Hale. And this is bounced right to Adames, who's over on that right side. 2 outs. Dougie, you mentioned Todd Zeal. Did Zeal ever pitch a game for the Rockies?
I don't think he did for the Rockies, but I believe that he did in the major leagues.
Todd Zeal, yeah, he pitched.
Pitched for the Rockies?
Not for the Rockies,
I know
but he did
pitched
pitch.
a game.
He pitched a game.
Did he pitch a game?
I don't think
for
it
the
was for the
Rockies?
Rockies. I believe it was after he left here. Let me get some answers for you.
So your official answer is no.
And my official answer is no, and I'm sticking with Ross Grimsley for Frazier's first guy.
He got on there and looked.
I did.
So was Grimsley?
I don't know.
Because George has always said he struck out Sammy Mejia with a slider.
I got Grimsley. Is what I'm.
Is that right?
I'm double checking my.
I'm not going to doubt you either.
Do you know?
Because I'm 61. I'm not doubting anything you come up with.
Do you know who you got out last in the World Series in '87? Oh,
the only guy I mean, Tommy Herr.
Tommy Herr. Okay, I'll have to find out.
I think.
And Todd Zeal did pitch in 2002 and then 2004 with the Mets, 2002 with the Rockies.
I knew it.
Yeah, he went 1 inning, 1 hit, no runs.
Does that give me a point?
And he got a strikeout. you go with the fans. Yeah, you go with the fans. The fans will get one for that.
We got a marker. And you got the first two, so you're up 2-1 on the fans. Here's a 2-1 on Jock Peterson. That's a strike. 2-2. This kid came flying out of the gate.
I have one.
He's got a counter punch because the league has figured him out a little bit. He's at 214. He does have 25 home runs. Stayed off that 3-2.
Dougie, I have a question to ask you.
All right.
All right, I'm going to ask you this question. I'm cheating. All right. Who was the last New York Yankee player to wear Babe Ruth's number 3?
The last?
Babe Ruth's number was retired in 48.
In 48.
So
wow.
somebody wore it after the Babe. I didn't know that.
Wow.
That's ball 4. Hale loses Peterson, and that'll bring up the pitcher Bolsinger.
You want me to help you out?
Give me help
Was
me out.
he a famous player?
Cliff Mapes, and he lived in Pryor, Oklahoma. And actually, he was after the 3, he wore 6. What was Mickey was 6? 7. He wore 7. And then when Mickey came to the big leagues and got hot, he gave the number to Mickey, and he wore another number. As a matter of fact, it has him shaking hands with Mickey Mantle. There's a picture of him wearing number 7 at home plate.
When I was growing up in New York, Roy White wore number 6 with the Yankees.
Yeah.
What was the Babe like, George?
Yeah, he wouldn't talk too much. Had a headache all the time.
0-2 on Bolsinger. By the way,
actually, that was Cliff Mapes' nephew that sent me those texts. He lives in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He's one of the largest Yankee collectors, Robert Taylor, and just sent it to me.
Okay. By the way, you're not 61 yet.
I will be in another 2 weeks, so I'm counting it, because both knees feel that way.
David Hale strikes out Bolsinger looking. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Rockies 1, Dodgers 1.
First Fan Friday question to stump Doug Marino, and it comes via snail mail from Don. Don actually sent a letter to Root Sports asking a very simple question, and I believe, Doug, you're holding the letter. I can't read this thing because I'm so used to reading only 150 characters, but I think the question has something to do with needing a second catcher as a defensive replacement late in the game.
Well, Don is was an umpire for 27 years for Little League and loves baseball. He sent me this letter. It was real nice of him. He thinks that it's kind of wasting a guy. He was wondering why you never pinch hit for the catcher late. He wanted to know statistically how often does a catcher get hurt in the 7th inning or later. So, I didn't go back and count every catcher who ever got hurt after the 7th inning after being lifted for a pinch hitter. I did have a couple of examples that popped into my head.
Noah hits a line shot, but it's right at Ethier, 1 out.
I remember a game back in 1998. The Rockies were out playing the Angels, and Kurt Manwaring had caught most of the game. Jeff Reed, in a critical situation, top of the 9th, pinch hit for him in a tie game. It's top of the next inning. The Angels are up. There's a play at the plate. Reed gets nicked. He has to come out of the game. They bring Nafy Perez in to catch.
That lasted 1 pitch.
It lasted 1 pitch.
Who was on the
pitch.
mound?
Jerry Dipoto.
That's right.
Runner scores from third base. Rockies lose. So there's one example. And then just the other day, Yadi Molina, bottom of the 8th, gets hurt in the first inning. If he had been lifted for a pinch hitter before, not that you would pinch hit for Yadi probably, but you'd have been out of catchers if it had been the regular season.
And the footnote to the story you told about Nafy catching, Nafy, who was game for it, wanted to catch with his fielder's glove because his whole life's been a shortstop, and he said, "I'd feel more comfortable." And they're like, "There's no way. They throw too hard. You're going to hurt your hand." And so the first pitch was a slider from Jerry, and that was Jerry's out pitch. But Nafy's unaccustomed to catching, and went to the backstop, winning run scores, and so Nafy got behind the plate for 1 pitch.
Yeah, that's why you don't do it. Maybe statistically, it looks like it's you're playing with only 24 guys instead of 25, but on that day when you need them, it could cost you the game.
Very good. 2 outs, and that'll bring up Charlie Blackmon. It is stump Doug night here at the ballpark.
Thanks.
Charlie reached on an error. He had a broken bat ground ball to Adrian Gonzalez, and the ball kind of ran up Adrian's arm. He stayed with it, and he threw in plenty of time to Bolsinger covering, and Bolsinger just dropped the baseball. And that would help lead to a run in the first inning. That run against Bolsinger unearned. It was driven in by Corey Dickerson's 2-out single. Here's the 2-0, and that's a strike. 2-1. Rockies 10-14 in September, trying to snap a 5-game losing streak. They were swept by the Pirates. Yesterday was a particularly tough pill to swallow because the Rockies played really a good game for 7+ innings. They were up 4-2, and there's one misplaced fastball from Jairo Diaz that Pedro Alvarez hit out in the 8th inning, a 3-run home run. That was the difference. The Pirates win at 5-4 yesterday.
And some people say, well, Walt, why didn't you go get the left-hander? Logan was up. Trouble is they have Morris. They had a couple of guys that were not in the lineup that Walt figured they would go get him. Diaz, the left-hander's been hitting 180 against him versus right-handers. So you know what? Hey, I'll just go with my guy. He's been pitching well. It's the 8th inning. Let's see what he's got.
The National League playoff picture is brought to you by DirecTV. The division leaders, the Mets, they're up 7.5 games now on Washington. That one's all but done. The Cardinals lead slashed at 3.5 again because the Pirates won earlier today. The Cardinals just getting going at home against Milwaukee. That's scoreless. And the Dodgers have all but clinched the division out west. Their magic number is 3. They're up 8 on the Giants.
Oh, that's priceless. I get a little bit off the game here per se, but Dougie just showed me his wife sending a Facebook deal back to her, how you do that on TV when you do the other stuff. And his beautiful daughter Elizabeth is seeing Daddy on TV, and she's like, Dad, what are you doing in the box, Dad?
That is precious.
Isn't that priceless? Oh man,
it is both precious and priceless. You bet. That is awesome.
Yeah,
and what's going through Elizabeth's mind right now is Daddy should not be on TV, should he, Mom? This is pulled to Adrian Gonzalez. He steps on the bag. That ends the 2nd inning. We'll go to the 3rd. Rockies won and the Los Angeles Dodgers won. Pretty night at Coors Field. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by your hometown Toyota stores. Toyota, let's go places. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. We go to the top of the third inning. It'll be the top of the order for the Dodgers. Chase Utley, Jimmy Rollins, and Adrian Gonzalez against David Hale. And back upstairs with the man of the night, George Frazier. We're celebrating his retirement tonight, and his lovely daughter, Georgia, has joined us. How did you put up with your dad for all these years, especially having 3 brothers?
How? That's a really broad question.
Do we have enough time?
No, I think just being with him, he talks a lot. He gives you a lot of advice. All of my life lessons were learned through sports analogies. But he's a tough cookie. You know, he used to make me throw 30 strikes. He'd draw a square on our brick wall and would make me throw 30 strikes before going into dinner. So
she wanted to be one of the boys.
I did want to be one of the boys, and I still, even at this trip, we're honoring him, and I still get left behind because I'm the only girl. So.
Do you give advice to your brother Parker, who's still pitching professionally and pitching very well? Do you give him advice a little bit?
No, but you can hear me in the audience, or not the audience, but the crowd saying, "Keep your elbow up." So that's about the only thing I do, and breathe and just have fun.
All right. Well, speaking of breathing, your dad was texting me when you had a busy last couple of months, and you were doing something in Atlantic City with a bunch of other beautiful women. And, so George is texting me, and we're getting ready to fly from Seattle to Los Angeles.
Okay.
And our whole Root Sports family, especially all the wives, are watching you at the Miss America pageant. And your dad is texting me, and he goes, I haven't been this nervous even in the World Series. And I'm texting him, you asked your dad. I said, breathe. I said, she's already kicked butt, can't lose. What she's done is so tremendous. But I'm coaching up your dad on breathing. So because he said he was shaking, he was so nervous.
They were very nervous. I didn't really get to see him much. I was there for 18 days, and every time I talked to them, they were very, very proud, but always, I don't know how you just did that. I don't know how you walked on stage in a swimsuit. I don't know how you just sang your song. And my response is, I don't either. But he was very nervous, and in the audience, I found him very quickly because I saw his hair and because his little gray patch, but also just being, oh, there I am. That is awesome. But also him just being tall. I spotted them out immediately, and he wasn't even in the audience yet until I got called for top 15. They weren't even in their seats, so they were being held.
And he was texting me there, and I'm not telling something out of school. George smokes, and especially when you're nervous, and George was like, this is killing me because I can't go outside and have a heater.
It's been an hour and a half. I was shaking.
To steal George's terminology, as you know.
Yes.
And he couldn't go out, and he said, because if I go out, they say I can't get back in. And there's your mom and your brother Parker, and see themselves on there. And
there's the other one up in the back. That's Matt.
That's Brian right down there. That's right. They're all out there. I think the others are easy.
This is cut off by Adames, but he's unable. Great play. Unable to get the force. So Jimmy Rollins reaches. He's 2 for 2. They're 2 on. Nobody out for Adrian Gonzalez.
Well, you're trying to shade everything up the middle so you can turn the double play. It's a 2-step dive so you can get to the baseball, but a pretty good jump, pretty good speed, and they're able to outrun it and get safe as Utley slid into second base.
Being in a house full of brothers and a dad who played professionally, that's not surprising that there were a lot of sports analogies. Do you remember one single piece of advice that you've perhaps utilized in your career in pageants?
Prior preparation prevents a poor performance.
Oh my goodness! Give me some. I have heard that a bunch through, and I've known your dad since 1988. I have heard that a ton.
He says it quite a bit.
The 5 Ps.
Yes, the 5 Ps. And the other one is every strikeout, you're closer to your next home run. Is something he always said whenever I did lose a pageant or I didn't succeed in whatever I wanted. He always just said, you're closer to your home run, you don't even know. So I think that's a Babe Ruth quote, if I'm
I probably copied
correct.
it somewhere.
Yeah. Yes.
You know what, though? I hadn't heard that one. That's a great one. I like that one. especially because I got a house full of baseball players.
Well,
so
you know, and I told her
that.
at Miss America too, and I said, you know what? Something my dad taught me at a very young age. At the end of the day, if you can look in the mirror and you know you did the best you could do, then there's nothing to change. Now, if you feel like you slighted yourself somewhere, okay, that's on you. But otherwise, you can look in that mirror and say, I did everything I could possibly do.
And I have to give him credit, though. He raised 4 children quite amazingly. And oh, don't cry. But something I learned at Miss America, which I never knew, was you are more likely to have a son drafted in a professional sport than ever have a daughter compete in Miss America. And he has a son that was drafted and a daughter that competed in Miss America. So I think that speaks volumes to him as a father and my mom, and just always telling us to chase our dreams because
absolutely
he did.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? That's a wonderful, first of all, a wonderful accomplishment for you and Parker. And listen, I'm going to brag on Matt and Brian as well because they've been very, very successful in their careers as well. And George and your mom Kay have done just a marvelous job. You know what? It's like last night we had a thing.
Kay has. I mean, she really has.
Absolutely.
She's been the backbone. I'm telling you, because I was gone 6 months out of the year.
And I'm excited. He hasn't been home for one of my birthdays since I was 3 years old. And this year, my 24th birthday will be the first birthday he will be home for.
That's awesome.
So I think
he's going to take you for a ride in that red pickup truck.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites.
You were hoping for a little something more special than that?
The red truck.
That's a gorgeous photo.
Yes. And he actually didn't even see my evening gown until preliminary competition.
I did. That was the first time I saw it.
Big play.
That gown is designed by Sherry Hill. You want me to go through the whole thing? No, last 10 years, you're talking, I think, right after this, quick snap throw. He's cheating a little bit up the middle defensively, which allowed him to get to the bag quicker. But for the last 7, 8 years, I've always picked George's gowns. I loved it. I would go with her. That's the one, or that's not.
It's a little frightening for me, but
I didn't pick this one because it was all private hush hush. They didn't ever want anybody to know what it was, so she flew to.
So mom didn't know either.
No. Mom didn't. No one was allowed to see anything.
Gonzalez fouls that off. It's still a 2-2 count. 2 on, nobody out.
And I'll brag on her. She was top 3 bathing suit at Miss America and top gown.
I was.
So that was
and a lot of hard work and dedication.
Top 10 for those that may not have seen it. Georgia was top 10 at Miss America. They call it I don't get that. It's 2016 though. Last time I checked, it's 2015. But it's a 2016 Miss America pageant.
Yes, I think it's for the coming year. But I've never really gotten.
You know, it was really cool that Christy, my wife, and by the way, I want to echo some. We had a nice dig at the house last night.
Thank you. Lovely.
Wonderful.
And you know, when Ken Miller, our executive producer, said, I want to thank Drew and Christy, I was like, grab the mics and Christy, because in our line of work, our wives do absolutely everything. But great pitch by Hale. Pulls the string. That's a big strikeout of Adrian Gonzalez. 1 out with Howie Kendrick coming up.
You want to describe this strikeout, George? Swung and missed it, didn't he? That's right.
Good changeup.
Yeah, it's a great changeup. See it come out of his hand on the Subaru Supermo as it came out of the hand with his finger split, rolled it inside, and there it is. Good work, George. Good wrist action.
But she said one of the more moving moments was Vanessa Williams was there for the first time, being honored in many years. In fact, she grew up right near where I grew up, and I remember when she won Miss America as Miss New York, and she was there, and you sung the same song that she sung, and that really moved her.
I tried. I didn't know she was judging until about Wednesday morning of the final competition, and so when I found out she was judging, I was nervous, to say the least. And honestly, I didn't even think I'd make it to the talent round, but I've watched the video on YouTube, and my chest, you can just see it breathing. I was so nervous. I don't think I've ever been that nervous in my whole entire life. I'm just singing to her, and I felt like I had to get her approval while I was about to sing it. So I kept just nodding my head, and she was nodding her head back. And so I felt a little bit better. But yeah, she reached out after and said how proud she was, and it came full circle for her. So that made me excited, even though I didn't even do the song justice. But it was it was a really magical moment.
It was a great moment. It was really a tremendous moment. 1 and 2 on Howie Kendrick. And your dad, it takes a lot for your dad to be rendered speechless, and that was one of the few times.
I am right now.
Yes,
Yeah.
you are.
Yeah, I am.
Yes, you are.
He was speechless.
Yeah. I was locked down, buddy.
And he just kept saying, how cool is this? Top 10 at Miss America.
Well, the truth of the matter is she got to go to the after party. And I got to go get her gowns,
My luggage.
swimsuits, and all that stuff. Then I had to push it about 1.5 miles up to the after party. So you guys know how bad my hips and my knees are, right?
In other words, that's the most exercise you've done since you got off the field in the 87 World Series.
And I'm carrying a bag on my shoulder, and I'm pushing this thing. And here comes Parker to the rescue. He helped push it up there. And we were able to get it inside there. And then I get all the way into the after party after waiting for 1.5 hours, it seemed like, to get in. Turn it, flip it, flip it.
Turned it over very nicely done. 4-6-3. So David Hale works out of that without any damage done. The first two reached, and nobody scores.
Peach, thanks for showing up.
Thank you. Thanks for
This is
having me. I
awesome.
love you. I'm very proud of you, Dad.
Thank you.
And thank you for being a wingman.
Yeah, well, he's my buddy. That was easy. Georgia, take care. Good luck.
I will.
Welcome back. Tied at ones, bottom of the third. You got Carlos Gonzalez coming up, Nolan Arenado. It is a Fan Friday, so send us your questions to try to stump Doug Marino at #FanFriday. So we have one right here. And if you don't know, Doug Marino is a huge Grateful Dead fan. So this is a perfect question to ask Doug Marino. What stadiums did both the Grateful Dead play and the Rockies play in? I don't know.
That's good. It's two of my favorite subjects right there is baseball and the Grateful Dead. So this is
this is a slam dunk.
I don't want to
How many Dead shows have you seen? You saw the last two this year. You saw the one at Soldier Field.
4 of the last 5 this year. Yeah, I've over 100 before Jerry died, and then after that, there's been many different groupings,
incarnations.
And Dougie actually took me to a concert too, my first and only one.
Yep,
thanks, Dougie.
To his first one. You got it. I'm going to try to drag him back.
I'm still trying to grow my hair.
That was in Santa Clara at the new stadium.
Exactly. Yeah, worked out great.
At Levi Stadium.
But that doesn't count because the Rockies didn't play there.
Yeah, the Rockies why does it steal the face right off my head?
Steal your face right off your head.
So what are the two?
I'm still learning.
Mile High. Rockies played there the first two seasons. Yep. 3 Rivers. I saw the Dead there.
Okay.
And I've seen the Rockies play there. Oakland, Alameda County Stadium out there. We were just out there a couple months ago with the Rockies. The Dead played there on numerous occasions. And
didn't the Dead play Wrigley Field?
The Dead did not play Wrigley Field. No, the Dead never played Wrigley Field. They played.
Didn't they play Shea?
They didn't
No,
play
that's the
Shea.
Beatles.
Nope. They played RFK, where the Nationals briefly played. They played there for a little while.
Okay, so that's 4.
That's 4. Yep. That's I think that's it.
Good question.
Yeah, that is a good question.
Done.
What about Woodstock? Would the Rockies ever play Woodstock?
maybe if you were on the team, Spilly, we could have talked them into it. We missed our big chance.
Good at bat from Cargo. He draws a leadoff walk in the 3rd. So Cargo, the recipient of the 3rd walk from Mike Bolsinger, and that'll bring up Nolan Arenado. This is fun tonight, Stump Dougie. We try to play that game every night, though.
Dougie, I'm going to have you go to work on one, but you cannot look it up.
Well, that's what you're doing?
No. I'm getting them sent to me from former Yankees. How you like that? 1950 in 656 at-bats. How many times did Yogi Berra strike out? God rest your soul, Yogi. I love you.
Yogi struck out, I'm going to say, 17 times that year.
12.
12. All right.
656 at-bats.
Pretty darn good.
Dougie, I don't think this one's true. I want you to look this one up, too. How many times did Yogi Berra catch both ends of a doubleheader?
Yeah, we talked about that. We talked about that one the other day.
117 times.
In 1953.
Unbelievable.
He caught both ends 17 times in one season, including 3 days in a row, July 4th, 5th, and 6th in 1953.
And that's something.
In his career, what was it, 400? What did you say, 400?
117 times. Both ends of a doubleheader.
Yeah, but his strikeouts in his career.
Oh, yeah.
Yogi was 400 something.
It was 400 and something. He had 358 homers, so it was
crazy.
Yeah.
I was talking to Don Mattingly about that earlier today. And Nomar Garciaparra, too, is next door working the Dodgers broadcast, that it used to be an embarrassing thing, relatively speaking, when you struck out. I mean, a hitter did not want to strike out. Even guys like Donnie and Nomar, who hit their fair share of home runs. And it's not looked upon the same way anymore. And here's Horrell Hershiser and Nomar upstairs. Charlie Steiner working the television side tonight. Here's the 3-1, and that's fouled off. And, you know, if you think about it, okay, it's about slugging today, but if you have an empty at bat, as Nomar was saying, if the ball is not in play, I have zero chance of something good happening. But if I hit, look what happened with Ben Paulson yesterday. It ended up being a hit. He hit a topspin two-hopper that ate up Pedro Alvarez. It ended up driving in a run. He got the ball in play. Something good happened.
Something good happened. It's not going to happen any good as making a turn back to the dugout. But it's all become about home runs, RBIs, stolen bases. In the game of baseball, like it, how hard did they throw? How many times we heard that one?
See if Cargo takes off. He does. 3-2. Hard on the ground to third. Utley has just one play because the Rockies put him in motion. Talking about Cargo, they stay out of the double play, and he's in scoring position with one out for Dickerson, who drove in the Rockies' run in the first. With every challenge called, the Subaru Eyesight Review will determine the outcome. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. Yogi struck out 414 times, 358 home runs. Dickerson a single up the middle to drive in Cargo in the first. This ball line to left, and it is going to take one hop kiss off the top of the wall. Cargo scores easily on the double by Dickerson, and the Rockies have a 2-1 lead.
And flat out swing it, and it can be to all parts of the baseball field when he does it. Just keep him healthy and keep him on the field where he can perform, and then you'll see big things happen. Cargo with the walk, a very good at bat. Advanced on the hard ground ball to third, scores on this double down the left field line. Another breaking ball that stayed up in the zone. Dickerson got the same pitch, but it was a base hit. And his first at bat back up the middle. This isn't a base hit, this is a double. that drives in a run.
Ribby out there for Morneau. Called strike 1-1. Pulled hard underneath the glove of Gonzalez. The sure-handed Gold Glove first baseman whiffed on it, and Dickerson scores. 3-1 Colorado.
6 errors on the season now. Gonzalez, he turned perfectly to where he could make the throw to the plate if need be. If Dickerson would have rounded, the ball was hit extremely hard, but a play that we have seen Adrian Gonzalez make 1,000 times. Ball scalded to the right side. Now watch, well, you're going to see Adrian get over. The ball just went right between his legs. Dickerson comes around to score. Morneau at first with 1 out.
Second error on the Dodgers. Tom Murphy at the plate. He came up with the bases loaded, maybe a little over anxious. Check swing on the first pitch he got from Bolsinger, and he just rolled to Jimmy Rollins to end that first inning. Going 2 the count. It's time for our big hit presented by Mako. Turn the car you drive into the car you love. Couple big hits, couple big flies for Tommy Murphy against the Pirates. Second and third of the year. And 3-runner gave the Rockies a 5-4 lead the other night. This ball kicks away. Good base running from Justin. He's going to move up. Read the ball down. Dirt ball. Good secondary. You take off. And Morneau in scoring position now for Murphy with 1 out. Wild pitch.
Automatically starting to look around an awful lot. How far do you want to let this thing go? They got a pretty good sized lead. This ball's dumped well out in front of the plate. Not really that tough of a read, but when it shot up that third base line, that allowed Justin to get to second base.
One and 2 on Murphy. Bolsinger strikes out Tommy for the second out. Now you have Enoa coming up. Rockies up 2 runs. He's batting 8th with first base open. We'll see if they pass on him and go to David Hale. First strikeout for Bolsinger. Tweet us your strongest fan photo. Use the hashtag RMData_StrongFan. And we'll try to get you into a broadcast here before the end of the season. Tonight, game number 154, first of 3 with the Dodgers. Final 3 home games of 2015. Rockies will conclude the season Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in Phoenix against the D-backs. And then next weekend, they'll be at AT&T to take on the Giants. Let's go out to center field again, see what Ryan Spielborg's up to.
As soon as Dougie answered the questions about stadiums that the Grateful Dead and the Rockies have played in, I get a Twitter response from Michael Green saying, "We think you're wrong, Dougie. We think that the Grateful Dead played in the Metrodome." But I have a feeling I know what the answer is going to be right here.
I will take a look. And I had somebody text me too and say the Vet, but the Vet was demolished at the end of the '92 season, and the Rockies didn't start playing until '93. So I'll take a look at the Metrodome, see if we ever get the.
Don't mess with Doug now.
Don't mess with your head. All right, I'm not. I'll double check for sure. No, we'll make sure we got it right.
Spilly, do not mess with Dougie when it comes to the Dead.
I mean, I know for a fact it's not the Metrodome because the Rockies never played there. They played at Target Field, so that field was gone.
There's 2 bands you don't mess with Dougie on: the Dead and Widespread Panic.
So there you go, Michael Green. I don't think that's right.
0-2 on Enoa. Rafi hit it really hard his first time up. A line drive to Ethier in right. George, that's what you and I have to do this winter. Take in a widespread panic concert.
Probably not going to happen, Drew.
Just throwing it out there.
If Doug went, then I'd go. You and I.
This ball line to left center field. A gapper for Enoa. Morneau comes home. That's out there at Triple's alley. And Rafi on to third with a stand-up three-bagger, and the Rockies are up 4-1. So they decided to pitch to him, and he burned them.
All he does is show up during the game, either defensively, offensively, but he shows up during a ball game, and he shows up here. This ball in the left center field, they're playing him around in the outfield, so it allowed a little bit of this to happen for him. Molslinger's been burnt on the breaking ball more than once, and Noah got to second base. It's like, whoa, almost did the header halfway across. The face plant made it into third standing up. It wasn't even close. And there's a lot of guys down in the Dodger bullpen. There's still no action down there yet. And it's already 4-1 Rockies. Boy, it feels so good to see 4-1 after watching what had been going on here the last 4 days against the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Ball one on David Hale. Remember what Mike McHenry told us yesterday? He was up in the booth for a few innings, did a great job, and Enoa's name came up, and he said, I would take him as a teammate on any team I've ever been on. He absolutely loves what Rafi brings to the park every day. Well, he certainly delivered here with 2 outs in the third, driving home Justin Morneau. Rockies scored 3 times. They have a 4-1 lead.
Question for Doug Marino. Yeah, I can hear George Frater. It is a hashtag Fan Friday. And first off, I am wrong about the Metrodome. The Rockies did play 2 out of 3 games there in 2003. So sorry, Michael Green, you are right. I am wrong. Okay, Doug, how many times has George Frazier over the course of his career asked you to look something up?
Well, hold on, I got it.
Yeah, let's see.
I got it. 2,988,000.
I'd say that's
15 years, 10 times a game,
times a day,
times. Oh yeah, I mean it's a lot. It's a lot.
That's 1,000 a year. That's at least
15,000. 15, 16,000.
At least. And how many of those
by the way,
were things that were so ridiculously obscure that it would be impossible?
I've still got a list of 412 at home. I'm still working on for it.
And by the way, yes, I'm retiring. Nice little festivities and everything. Stay there, Spilly. Don't go anywhere.
I can't go anywhere.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Hey, I just want to tell you, one thing in television you can do, anything you want once. Remember that.
Are you encouraging me to do my one thing once?
Yeah, but I just want to tell the fans at home that Jeff Houston's been here with me for the last 10 years, and Spilly's going to take my spot. You're in good hands, folks. You got two true professional guys that really care about their business and want to get better every day at it. And I got to commend you, Spilly. You didn't come in with an ego. You came in here to work, to learn how to do all this, and I'm going to look forward next year to texting your butt and go, what are you talking about? And have fun
I do
with
that to you all the time.
I know.
George,
we do. We have a blast. We do, and you and Jeff do a wonderful job, and it's going to be fun. Corey, obviously Sullivan has come in, and the pre and post, and Jason and all those guys, and Jenny, they're wonderful people, and they're really easy to work with. I can tell you that.
George.
Yeah, and good luck to you.
Can I say one thing that you have done that has shown me a lot so far? One of the things as being now a broadcaster, being a former player, you have this feeling that, okay, I'm giving opinions, a critical opinion. That's a nice play by Noah. Throw him out!
See, you can cheer all you want.
And here's the thing. At times, you're right, George. You taught me you have to be critical at times. But I saw you as a player talking with Belisle, talking with Todd Helton, talking with Brad Hawk, and understanding that, number one, you were a major leaguer first, broadcaster second, and I took that and I appreciate it. And as I was moving forward, you told me the same thing. Keep those relationships with the guys in the clubhouse and be professional. But more importantly, there is a fabric that you have to share. And George, thank you so much for sharing that.
You're welcome, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. You know, Drew and I have been together. We mentioned earlier, we've been together since '88, doing baseball games and messing around in the broadcast booth, and we all ended up, it's kind of neat out, all ended up in Denver together for 19 years. It's been fun.
Pretty wild.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Carl Crawford with one out. How about this play by this Philly described? This is a great play by Ralphie.
It is a very great play by Ralphie because it's all about reaction. You know what? When you haven't waited 9 years to get an opportunity to play at this level in these kind of ballparks, you never take anything for granted, and you like what you're doing. And here's the Subaru Super Mode where it's just timed perfectly for him. Reactions are very good. You see that at third base.
And Georgie, let's not forget one thing. Where did he spend the bulk of those minor league
with
years?
The Dodgers, 9 years. Yeah, that's absolutely right. You know, I want to show the Dodgers, hey, you guys might have screwed up. I was pretty good. You didn't give me a chance because I was 5'9" or whatever. I wasn't your big husky guy. You might have screwed up.
He has fun playing too, and you played 10+ years. You got to have fun playing this game.
Well,
it's hard enough if you don't.
Hey, you know what? When it becomes work, just go home. You know what I mean? Just go home. And that's kind of what, you know, you feel with your body at times. It just gets to be where it's work to get out of bed and get to the ballpark and do things as you get farther along. But this guy loves to play the game. All of them do. They love to play the game right now. With that being said, I'd like to say one more thing. I'm going to get off my soapbox. I wish more guys played for the ring than the money. Plain and simple. I've had a lot of conversation with former big leaguers calling me, wishing me well, all that kind of stuff. And guys, I've had guys say, "Fraze, you got 2 World Series rings. I played 15 years, didn't get one." They played for that ring. You know, that gold ring to put on your finger says World Champions. It doesn't say American or National League Champions. It says World Champions.
3-1, Morneau to Hale. Well, you think back, and it's been a difficult 5 years. There's no way to obscure that here, but when you think back, and I tell people who are new to this part of the country, and I said, you would not believe what it was like in 07, in 09, and really a good portion of 2010. Unfortunately, the Rockies faded the final couple of weeks, but there's so many great fans and so many loyal fans that they can't wait to see this thing get turned around so they can get really excited in September and then on to October.
You know, I'm going to tag something with everything Drew's saying, too. I know fans, you want us to be more critical. You want me to get on guys, but what Spilly was talking about, when you're building relationships with people, you know a lot about these people, then you realize one thing as a former player. This game is very difficult to play. It is not an easy game to play. And that's when you realize their babies have been sick, mom's sick at home, dad's not doing well, and it affects them. It affects you as a player and every day. It affects you in your workforce when you know somebody's not well.
Yeah, and listen, you know, when a guy, let's say a guy, you know, walks a couple of guys and everybody's at home, you know, how's this guy walking guys? The last guy in the world who wanted to walk somebody, last guy in the world who wanted to make an error, the guy who made it.
That's right.
1-2-3 inning for David Hale. That's his sharpest frame, and the Rockies lead 4-1, middle of 4. safe and fun to drive for. To skate, go further. By Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. What's next for the Rockies? The bottom of the fourth, they'll have Charlie Blackmon, Christian Adames, Carlos Gonzalez to face Mike Bolsinger. The Rockies have taken advantage of some shaky defense from LA, and they have a 4-1 lead. Though only one of the 4 runs is earned against Bolsinger. Adrian Gonzalez, a rare error. Also an error in the first inning on Bolsinger. Charlie reached on that error in the first and then walked in the second. Bolsinger lost his last outing against the Pirates. Went 4 1/3, gave up 4 runs, 3 earned. This ball's crushed deep right field. Take a good look. You won't see it for long. Second deck shot for Charlie Blackmon. His 17th. There's a souvenir.
When I was on the field, Dick Monfort said to me, boy, wouldn't it be great to get a win here tonight on your day? And I said, absolutely. Let's go get after these guys. They've gotten after him. And they got after him in a hurry. Way to go, Charlie. 17th home run, 56 RBIs for Charlie to go along with 41 stolen bases. What a year.
Here's Adames. And Christian robbed maybe of a hit. Good play by Bolsinger. 1 out. Well, Charlie's now within 2 of the number of home runs he hit last year. He hit 19 last year.
Boy, look at this on the Subaru Supermo. You think he didn't see that all the way in there? Look at that. Back leg drive. Landed right in her lap.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Right in between bites. Oh, I didn't get the sandwich, though. That's beautiful.
Didn't spill her husband's beer either.
No.
Cargo 1 for 1 in Milwaukee. Scored 2 runs, and this ball is rifled foul. Put the shift on, and Jimmy Rollins, the only one left on that left side. Jimmy's on the outfield grass, almost up the middle. It's almost like they have 4 guys on the right side. Charlie's for the leadoff spot.
Chasing himself, isn't he?
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, I remember it was funny. It was Bobby Bonds. Doug, who had the most home runs in the leadoff position before Ricky Henderson? I think it was Bobby. But he hit one in Montreal as a rookie, and he's playing with us in '78, and he hits a home run. They're all talking about breaking this record. And, Bobby, you broke your record. You broke a record. You broke it. He goes, I broke my record. And I just walked away. Felt pretty foolish.
Yeah. You know, as great a player as Barry was phenomenal. His dad,
great player,
unbelievably gifted as well. 332 lifetime home runs, stole bases. Here's the 3-1, and they pulled the string on Cargo. Bolsinger's a hard guy to sit dead red on, even in an offensive count.
Look at this thing. He just spun a breaking ball. What he did. Yeah, he just took a lot off of it, got on top of it, spun it in the perfect spot.
He went back to it. This ball's hit to deep center field. Did Cargo get it? You bet. That's number 38.
Unbelievable.
How strong is he? He was out on his front side a little bit, and he still hit it about 430. Wow. Been a few days since we've seen him trotting around the bases.
What a fun guy to watch play the game when he is healthy. Man, oh man, oh man. That dugout's pretty happy for him too. Look where that pitch was. That's what's amazing to me. And he hit it 425 feet down Mattingly. Yeah, they said trainer out's going to check on Bolsinger.
For Cargo, that's his first home run in 15 days.
Watch this. This is what amazes me about his hand-eye coordination. Watch this. Look where this pitch is. Look at his legs. Everything's spent. Look where this thing is. Oh my goodness! I mean, it's below his kneecap. Wow.
And again, he was fooled. He was out on his front side.
Yeah, but you know what? It had that sound. It had a sound.
Cargo's been due to get hot again. 170th home run in a Rockies uniform.
Listen, folks. Listen at home.
That ball landed at Bolster grabbed his back.
Yeah. Probably hanging onto his neck, too.
Here's Arenado. He hit it on the button his last time up, but right at Chase Utley at third. Almost called him Chase Headley. Chase third baseman.
Yes.
Called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rockies up 6-1. Couple of home runs here in the 4th. Blackmon and Cargo. Would it be something if this guy at the plate gets at least 1 more and Cargo gets 2 more? The Rockies would have 2 guys with 40+ home runs for the first time since 1996.
Wow.
And it's a different era. Arenado swings at a breaking ball in the dirt. 2 outs. The day after every Rockies victory, get 50% off your online order at Papa John's. The promo code's RocksWin at papajohns.com. Corey Dickerson, single and a double. He's driven in 2. One to deep center field, way back, and he goes deep. Wow. That's into the forest out there beyond the fountains. How far did that thing go? Rockies have a 7 spot, 3 jacks in the 4th.
And Don Mattingly's just trying to get through this 4th inning with his pitcher up 2 slots down.
He's now a triple shy of the cycle.
3 for 3. Man, he knew it too. When he hit this ball, watch this right here, folks. Watch. Hitters know. That little backflip and the wide turn, he knew. He just wanted to watch it. I don't blame him.
Here's Morneau. Do you realize how strong and the kind of bat speed you have to do what those 2 guys just did? Hit it over the center field wall, and as you said, George, drop the bat because you know it's gone. I mean, center field.
So I'm trying to add up here. So we have 860, probably about 1,290 feet of baseball.
Breaking ball swung on and missed. 0-2 on Morneau.
Yeah, Donnie's got the left-hander warming up down there right now. It's Liberatore, is that correct?
Liberatore.
Liberatore.
This ball to deep right center field. And it's a dollar shot. Fitting way, I guess, for the inning to end. Mike Bolsinger gives up 3 gigantic home runs. First it's Blackmon going to second deck and right. Then Cargo going to dead central. And Corey Dickerson even further. 7-1 Rockies. down. They pounded the baseball. Dickerson a single double and a long home run. Rafael Inoa has a triple. Blackmon, Cargo, Dickerson, all home runs last frame. And David Hale is doing a nice job taming the Dodgers thus far. Jock Peterson out of the number 8 spot in the lineup to lead off. And naturally, the Dodgers have a pinch hitter, Alex Guerrero, on deck. 1-1 on Peterson. Jock walked his first time. And this is stabbed by Hale. Let's go out. Visit again with Ryan Spilborg. Spilly, what do you know?
Okay, as you know, today is a Fan Friday, so we're trying to stump Doug Marino, and one of our part-time employees, Mark Stout, sent in a question to try to get him. Name the 08 team George Frazier did not have a win or save against in his career. I'm going to assume the 1981 Dodgers he didn't do anything against, but Dougie, what team was it?
George actually played for the team. It was the Chicago Cubs. He had a loss against them, but he didn't have a win or a save against the Cubs. Even though he played for them, he had wins and saves for the Cubs, though. Yeah. So that's got to count for something.
Yeah. That is why he's so revered in Chicago.
That's exactly right.
Spilly, help me out again. Who's this part-time guy?
I never heard of him. Some Mark Stout.
Stubbs.
Somewhere in the deep recesses of my mind, it rings a bell.
He is in Wyoming.
He is.
He's getting ready for football.
That's right. Wyoming, New Mexico tomorrow right here on Root. Make sure you tune into that.
Hey, George, really quick.
Yes.
We always talk about revenge. Is there a team that you played for that you loved getting back against, like the Yankees or the Twins?
You know, back then, honestly, Spilly, there was teams we didn't like playing against. The Kansas City Royals. You know, they were really, really good in the playoffs. The Yankees, there was always fights. There was always stuff going on, and I just didn't like the Royals. I mean, I just did not like them. And the best part about playing for Cleveland, when I got traded, the best part about Cleveland was when I looked out the window of the airplane and saw it as I was flying away. That was, I'm telling you, yeah, that was great. How's that about that? Go from 28 and a half out of first place, and it's June 10th, and go to the Cubs that were in first place. I went with Sutcliffe and Hasse. Yeah, for Mel Hall and Joe Carter. 1984. Yeah,
that was a big trade, and the interesting thing is because Rick went on to win the Cy Young that year.
He went
with the
16-1, and I was 6-2, I think, with 8 saves or something.
So you did exceptionally well. Rick does great, and he wins the Cy Young. In Cleveland, he was like 4-5.
Oh yeah, well, it's Cleveland, buddy.
ERA over 5.
And you know what? That team wasn't that bad because they had Brooke Jacoby at third. We had a rookie, Julio Franco, at shortstop. And then we also had Mike Hargrove at first base. I mean, it wasn't a horrible team. No. Burt Blyleven and Rick Sutcliffe, the first 2 guys in the rotation. Blyleven's in the Hall of Fame.
And Julio Franco just retired last year.
At 59.
Pretty close. 2 outs as Guerrero goes down swinging. Do we have another question for you,
Julio Franco's actually still playing semi-pro in Japan.
Is he really?
He really is. Yeah, I just saw a couple weeks ago.
Is he 60? Is he 60?
I think he's 59. I think you're right.
Yeah, he's getting paid too. Trust me.
He is getting paid.
He's probably still ripped also.
He did look jacked.
Biggest fights I ever got in. Oakland and Julio Franco. Rick Sutcliffe, actually, the day before we got traded. Yeah, he did one of the best things I've ever seen. He punched Jim Essian right in the nose as S was trying to get him before he went to the mound to get Larry Sorensen.
Chase Utley 0 for 1 and a walk.
What possessed me to jump on Dave Kingman, I'll never know.
you told that story. You go, we jumped on him, and that wasn't a good idea, huh?
No, I'm just glad there was some other guys like Sutcliffe behind me. You know, lost in all these 7 runs, the home runs, the Rockies have put up a crooked number 2 innings in a row, 3 apiece. David Hale's outing. David's been really good here tonight.
Really good. He's
controlled it after the first inning.
He's retired 7 in a row. Ball slicing line drive deep left field. Dickerson can't quite run it down, and it's going to be a ground rule double. Corey got in the neighborhood, couldn't corral it.
This is what Utley can do. It's a lot stronger swing than what you think it is. That fastball's in a good location, down and away from him, tailing away from Corey Dickerson in left field. Dickerson takes off on the fly. Appears that he got there, but I think he came up a little bit short. Ball got beyond the glove Not by much, though. Good effort. They had to shut down the inning, though. Because this Dodger club can score runs.
Yeah. They lead the National League. There's the baseball.
Way to go, Jerry. You snagged that baseball.
Lead the National League in home runs, do the Dodgers. Triple and a single for Jimmy Rollins.
Come out to the ball game on Saturday. If you're one of the first 10,000, you're going to receive a Colorado Rockies baseball hat, all courtesy of United Launch Alliance. Get your tickets for this ball game versus the Dodgers tomorrow. And of course, Sunday, the last home game. So hopefully you've bought tickets for that also. Both of those ball games will be on Root Sports. Off on Monday, and then to Arizona for 3, San Francisco for 3.
2-1, swung on a miss by Rollins. Donnie has said that, publicly that Rollins is going to be his shortstop in the postseason, going with the veteran guy, the guy former MVP.
Understandable.
But Corey Seager's going to play. That goes through Tom Murphy, and moving up is Utley on. See how they score that? See if it's a wild pitch.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be.
Yep. But Seager's got to play, George. He's too gifted, and he's done too much already in 18 starts. He's reached in all 18 starts.
Yeah, change up here, and it's just going to scoot under the glove. Didn't stay down on it to keep it right out in front of him. Well, here's the thing about it. 18 starts versus a guy that has been an MVP, that has done a number of things in the game, even though some of the skills have diminished a little bit. And that's the other side. Here's the other side of this. And just very quickly say this, is that Donnie's going to be partial to the veteran guy that's been there, done that. You don't know what's going to happen, and you got to set the roster when you get ready to go in with those 25 guys. You change it after the first round. It's got to be set.
3-2, and Rollins strikes out. David Hale is getting it done. 4 strikeouts for Hale, and he leaves Chase Utley at third base. Went under the hands with a hard sinker. 7-1 Rockies.
Rockies now 3 home runs in the last inning. It's time to look at our Century League. What's next? Time for Century League. Tomorrow's starters, Kyle Kendrick will be on the hill for the Rockies at 6-13. Former Rocky Brett Anderson at 9-9 will start the ball game for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And 29 starts for Anderson. He's been healthy the entire year. 25 for Kendrick. Well, it was Libator that was coming in. Now they've gone to Ian Thomas, making his 13th appearance. He's thrown 20 1/3, struck out 18. This year, the Dodgers have really overloaded their Oklahoma City team with a number veteran minor league guys and other guys. Chimway Sal, you remember that name, former Rocky, was there. Got up with the Dodgers for a little while. He was there. Troncoso was back with their ball club. Eric Stoltz was designated. He was there at the ball club. So they had a number of veteran guys to choose from. Is his 29th major league game, his 8th year in baseball. He's 2-3 with a .377 career average. Tom Murphy will get the first shot at it.
Murph tonight is 0 for 2, a ground out and a strikeout. This could be an infield hit. It will be. Onto the glove of Thomas. So Murphy reaches. Rocky's 8th hit. And we'll see what Spilly's up to again. Spilly, what do you have?
Well, I want to hit like that first and foremost. Those are sweet. All right, we have another question to try to stump Doug Marino, and it comes from our very own Jenny Kavanaugh. What 4 hitters hit home runs in 4 separate decades? It's a great question.
It is a great question. It's a classic, and it's in my lifetime. As you watch the answers, there's more guys. First, it was Ted Williams. Then it was Stretch, Willie McCovey. You had to have a nice long career. You had to be, one of the greats. Then Ricky Henderson, who we played forever and hit home runs out of the leadoff spot like nobody. And then the last guy is someone you wouldn't think of, but a guy who had a real good long career, Omar Vizquel. Hit homers in 4 decades. You don't think he was a power hitter, but he had a nice long career, good longevity, and probably a Hall of Famer.
Omar Vizquel, Hall of Famer?
Oh, yeah, I think so. No question. Yeah, no question.
He had 1 year made 3 errors at shortstop.
Yeah, he was amazing. He picked them as well as anybody.
I think he had another year he made 4. I mean, Spilly, had you played like that, they wouldn't have sent you down to the minor leags in Japan.
Well, technically, look, if Omar Vizquel would have made 3 errors in Japan, he would have been sent down to the minor leagues 3 separate times. So, I don't care who you are.
That reminds me of one of my other favorite all-time trivia questions. For a long time, it was name the only 2 guys to hit a homer before they were 19 and after they were 40. Now it's up to 4 guys. But there's 4 guys.
A-Rod is 1.
A-Rod is the last guy to do it, yeah.
A-Rod is 1.
Andrew Jones isn't 40 yet. I was going to guess Andrew Jones, but Japanese homers count?
No.
No, sir.
Sorry.
Ooh, how many are there? Don't give me the
4
answer.
guys.
There's
and
4. We got 1.
Yeah.
A-Rod's 1.
Griffey didn't play to 40.
No, they didn't get it done.
Well, this is why we ask you, Doug.
You make a good point, son.
It stumps
You
Billy
make a
Drew
good
George.
point. Yeah.
It's not hard to stump me.
One, Ty Cobb, way back when.
Oh, yeah, we had that one.
And then the reason I like that question so much, my all-timer Rusty Staub, who hit a home run game winner in the first game I ever went to, did it.
Rusty played a long time.
Played a long time.
Le Grand Orange.
Le Grand Orange, exactly right. And Gary Sheffield pulled it off as well.
What a great talent. I remember when Gary Sheffield played in Denver with the Zephyrs.
Yeah, I bet he enjoyed playing at
George, you faced Sheffield, didn't you? Did you face Sheffield?
I would think so. Faced Walt.
The bat speed Sheffield had was frightening.
Oh, yeah, the way he waved it around up there. Big man.
Noah hits this down the left field line, and he's going to go foul. Murphy at first, a lead single.
Christian Friedrich's been thrown down in the bullpen, and David Hale had 89 pitches. Not being stretched out, it may be it for David Hale.
There's David, the Princeton product. triple to left center field his last time up, driving in a run. 6th run batted in this year for Raffy. Kyle Parker is going to hit for David Hale. You know, 19 years at the booth. Some of the memories, George, I'm sure are obvious, but do you have some memories of plays or instances that maybe are not necessarily the iconic one for the Rockies?
I mean,
through the years?
first day I ever sat down to do a game in a big league here, knowing I'm not doing weekend games for ESPN or ABC. I'm working full time for a ball club. I mean, honestly, that was one of the biggest plays ever. The very first night I walked in to sit down and do a game. That was really stuff that just stuck out in my mind, and I couldn't even tell you who the first game was against. I mean, I just was so caught up in the fact that, man, I have a major league job, living a dream, you know. And then again, we talked about this a minute ago, but you know, I thank Kay, obviously, and the kids for sharing me with you guys, because I was gone 6 months out of the year in the beginning. It's much less than lately, but you know, just walking into this ballpark with these fans every day. I've lived downtown for the last 9 years, so I'm at Sam's every morning having breakfast. And the fans that I sit over there, Barb Harbison, who and I have become great friends, that I have breakfast with her every morning, and still do, by the way. Just those memories mean a lot to me. The players that have come and gone, but yet remain friends. And I think that's the one thing in the game people don't think about, but it's the friendships you make and in the game of baseball, with managers, coaches, playoff, you know, people in personnel. Keith Schultz worked here 23 years with me, and Keith and I have been through an awful lot together. And you know, the same thing with Mike Ponarelli. I mean, he came on road trips and stayed in my room when he was 15 years old because he couldn't afford a room. I said, well, you just stay with me, sleep on the floor. But with Mike Ponarelli, you know, Alan Bossert, the guys that all are in those trenches. Keith Duggar kept this old body together over the last 19 years, adjusting my back and icing my back for me and doing things for me. So, you know, Scotty Garrett, guys that did it, you know, Scott Mariama, those guys that were around this that aren't the superstars, but they are in my mind. And those are the friendships that will continue on. Jay Alvis, that worked in communication here for a number of years, a close friend of mine. A lot of those people remain friends of yours. And, you know, not to even mention my root crew, and I'll get to those guys on Sunday, but, you know, you, for instance, I mean, Drew, you weren't married, you didn't have children, you didn't have 3 kids, you weren't married to Christy, and you weren't, you know, living in where you live now and having the fun that you have to do the games. You know, you were doing Nuggets games and pre and post with us. So, you know, you form friendships that last forever in this game. Those are the best memories I have. My friendship I'm going to have with you, with your children. I'll be following Jacob next year to see where he's playing someplace in college after this year, and Zach and Gabe and everybody else. So all those things are memories. I'm going to come back in about 15 years and I'm going to look at Dougie and I go, I told you so, you know, with a little girl, you know, things like that. Sam's daughter, you know, and meeting all the different kids. And that's why I say the root group is a family.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, it's not just, and Drew was nice enough to host a deal at his house last night. We had a wonderful time, and to see all the faces, and faces I hadn't seen that had left Root and now came back to that party just to say goodbye. And, you know, it was very touching for me to see a lot of those people at that party last night, to see the things, you know, I mean, Sam's daughter, heck, she was like 3 when I started to work here. You know, so I mean, just stuff like that.
Beautiful
right.
young lady, correct.
And now you just start to see them all grow up and all be a part of everything that's going on. You know, first time Georgia threw out Cracker Jack, she was 4. You know, I mean, stupid stuff like that. You know, now, you know, the relationship she built with Todd and Christy Helton, I mean, those things mean a lot. With Matt Belisle, the relationship with Rex Brothers, those guys, those relationships don't ever go away. Whether it's on a hunting trip, a fishing trip, or just calling over breakfast and how you doing. That stuff never goes away.
No, well put. Well put. 1 out after the lengthy at bat, the lengthy battle Noah had with Thomas, and Kyle Parker will pinch hit here for David Hale. David, 5 very fine innings. Rockies up 7-1. They're going to take a look at this?
Yeah, I guess so. But, you know, to finish off what I was doing, I mean, Kenny Miller and I did a first game together with women's basketball in 1988. Now the executive producer, dear friend, never wasn't married. Here's the snap throw over. Donnie wants to look at it again. Whoa, he might be out. Might have got him right on the forearm there. Yeah, it kind of looks that way. Look at the Subaru Supermo. Yeah, he might. Yeah, see that hand come off, the pinky come off? I don't know. We'll find out here in just a minute with Murph.
Well, it's time for a Subaru review. Whether you're on the road or at the game, everybody could use a second set of eyes.
Let us kind of continue on. You know, as we're waiting to see the replay on this. Might be out. I think he probably. Hope he's not. Might have. See, I think right there he may have knocked the hand off the back. See, I think that's what they're looking at. See how his hand went off and then back? We'll know in a minute. But a lot of the friends I made here, Jim Armentrout is the director, Mike Fox, Tavis Strand, Sue and I have been together forever. Sue Strand, who works down in the truck, Javi. There's a lot of people that made this job pretty easy for me. Javi's running those replays for you right now, folks. He's the one down there with the magic hand.
Yeah, well, one thing we say all the time.
Yeah, here you go.
Now, Joe West has got
Joe,
to be the
he's not
official.
going to give you the answer,
chief,
Joe.
yeah.
Joe, it's the guys in New York.
So Tom Murphy is out, back picked by Yasmani Grandal. 2 outs, and Parker will hit with nobody on. We've said this a bunch. I mean, it's a great pleasure of ours to bring the ball games to all of you every night, but it means you spend half your half of 7 months basically on the road, and it's hard on families. So our wives do everything at home and helping raise the kids and so forth, and our second family is the crew we travel with. And we are fortunate that we have a really creative, really talented, and more importantly better people that we work with. 2 outs, Parker at the plate, and he's out front of the Ian Thomas delivery. Rockies trying to snap a 5-game losing streak. They're playing football, George, or baseball in Miami tonight?
Well, say the same thing in New York too. 12-10 Miami over in Atlanta. A couple of well-pitched games there, huh?
That's
Mets
beating
are
up
just
the Russian. That's a great American. 12-4 in the ninth.
Philly all over Washington 8-2. They got the Bay Bridge going with Oakland and San Francisco.
Parker swings and misses. That ends the 5th inning. As we go to the 6th, the Rockies leading 7-1. Nice job, David Hale.
Now in the game, I am about to stump Doug Marino. Doug, name the first player in the 21st century to hit an inside the park grand slam.
Well, it's a inside the park grand slam. What
in the 21st century?
21st century.
Yep. It's a trick question. It's a trick question.
It hasn't happened.
It happened just right now. His name is Aaron Altair. All right, so speaking of trick questions, I got a question for George. Which one of your 4 children, Brian, Matt, Parker, or Georgia, is your favorite?
Well, that's not fair. They're all favorite. They're all right at the top.
Okay, would you look at this tweet from your daughter?
Yeah, I know. I see that. I know. Well, they're all my favorite on every given day. How's that?
Well, what about today?
Today?
Yeah.
You want me to say Georgia just so I don't get in trouble? Is that what you're trying to tell me to do?
See, it's not like they're listening.
Oh, yeah, they are. They're up in the root
Okay, so
suite
that-
watching and listening. That's exactly right. She'll be shaking a finger
You better
at me.
be diplomatic.
You know what? It's great being a father. I have a great time with my oldest son who played basketball. The other one played rugby. He's executive at Walmart. One's a cop, and I shouldn't say that. He is a homicide detective.
He's a homicide detective.
Yeah.
You can see him on TV on A&E.
Yeah, on A&E on 48 Hours. He's the one with the bow tie, spiked hair. I told him not to take you so serious.
He's with the Tulsa Police
Tulsa
Department, 11 years.
Yeah, he's been with them 11 years. Brian's an executive at Walmart, and Parker's still pitching, which is kind of nice.
Pitching well.
Yeah, pitching really well. And so we'll see. Let's wait to hear for him. He has been invited to pitch on Team USA this winter to go to Japan and Taiwan, which is very exciting and a huge honor to be able to do that. And Georgia's just being Miss Oklahoma, riding around. And she's actually getting up early in the morning. I got to take her to the airport very early. And she is emceeing in Ada, Oklahoma tomorrow night. So she has obligations throughout the entire year to take care of things. And I want to say something else. Kelly Johnson here in Colorado, who got 4th runner-up, that did the nurse's monologue. What a sweetheart. Her mom and dad, some of the nicest people in the world. I just really had a good time visiting with them while they were in Atlantic City with us. And her dad and I kind of giggled and said the Rocky Mountain region is being represented well. And it was. And their daughter did wonderful at Miss America. I was very, very proud of her. The accomplishments, what she did. Hey, playing fantasy baseball, MLB.TV serves the real-time highlights of pitch tracking, info, and out-of-market ball game and Fantasy Players Live are on demand over 400 devices. Speaking of fantasy, I hope you're all signing up for fantasy camp. You better get busy. It's going to be fun. Todd Helton's coming. Spilly's coming. It's going to be a lot of fun. Sullivan will be there. Jeff Houston. Drew's there. Drew plays. Still trying to figure out why, but he plays. I think he'd be much better coaching third.
Yeah. Can't get that in my system.
I understand.
It's fun.
I understand. It is a lot of fun, but this camp is filling up pretty quick with Todd's presence there. I think if you haven't signed up, you have that itch to go. Come on. We'd love to have you down there.
Absolute blast. You'll laugh. And
I have a little fun.
You'll have a lot of sore muscles for 5 days. It's a grand time. 1-2 on Adrian Gonzalez. Friedrich in the 6th. David Hale, 5 innings of 1-run baseball. David allowed 5 hits, walked 2, struck out 4. Gonzalez, an RBI ground out in the 1st, his 88th RBI. He struck out swinging in the 3rd. Ball's hit well to center field. Going back to Blackman, and Charlie will get there. Spilly, what's next?
All right, Dougie, here you go. This one seems tough because I can't get it. Name the players in the 3,000 hit club not to be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, I can help you, Doug. You need some help?
Yeah, I would take your help on this one there, Drew, please.
One of Huey's old teammates, Rafael Palmeiro.
Yeah, and he's off the ballot already after 4 years. He didn't receive 5%, so he's off.
A guy who, this guy who met with the commissioner yesterday.
Really?
By the name of Chuck Hustle. Mr. Chuck Hustle.
I have heard of Mr. Hustle. I enjoyed watching him play when I was growing up.
Yeah, Pete ought to be in the Hall of Fame. Now, just so you know, Palmeiro hasn't retired. He played side by side with the Sugar Land Skeeters in the Independent League and the Atlantic League a week ago with his son.
I did see that. I did see that, but he is off the ballot.
Got to put him back on now.
No, he didn't receive the 5%. And there's two more guys.
Ooh.
Jeter, not eligible yet, hasn't been retired 5 years, and A-Rod's still active, and it remains to be seen what will happen there, but I've got a pretty good idea.
Pretty sure Jeter will get in.
Yeah, I like the chances.
That is foul. Now Kendrick's got to come back. So those are the 4. Good job. What do you got, Spilly? You're stumped.
I'm stumped, yeah. I don't have any more. I mean, I can think of some off the top of my head.
Spilly, June 26, 1986, the Grateful Dead played the Metrodome.
Yeah, and then I guess the Rockies played at the Metrodome.
2003.
Wait, but was it with Bob Dylan that they played Grateful Dead?
It was very good. They took turns headlining on that tour. They're on their way to Alpine Valley in Wisconsin.
Minnesota's own. You guys are native son, Bob Dylan.
That's exactly right.
You guys are way.
It's for another show, Frasier.
I understand.
One of the great songwriters of all time.
All time. He said he wrote over 900 songs. He said the best band he ever had knew about 200.
Pretty wild. We can do rock and roll. It's Billy. We can do rock and roll trivia with Dougie. Pitch is fouled off.
I had a really easy. I think it's easy for Doug. The 163rd game, the play-in game in 2007. Yeah. Who is the winning pitcher?
Was it Foggy?
No, that's a great one. No, Foggy started it.
He started it.
That's a great one. It's a guy the Rockies traded for. Quite honestly, he didn't do much in his tenure with the Rockies, but he won that one game.
What was his name? It's on the tip of my tongue. Was it Ramon Ortiz?
Wow, very nice.
Very nice.
All right.
We jokingly called him the Rally Monkey because he came from Anaheim and he was like a future Pedro Martinez, who obviously wasn't like Pedro Martinez, but he's a great character in the clubhouse, so we named him the Rally Monkey.
And where is he pitching right now?
You know what? He finished his career with Toronto. I think he had a Tommy John. Is he coming back? Is he playing with the Sugarland?
He played Mexico all summer.
Sugarland Skeeters with
Mexico. Played Mexico.
Is he really?
Yeah, and last winter, he was the closer on the Dominican team that played in the Caribbean World Series. Got to follow your baseball.
I'm trying, but some of these guys, they just go dark. I don't see him for a while.
Spilly, wait till you get to be my age 40 years from now, and they go, hey, Spilly, in 2007, can you name your 25 teammates in the playoffs and the World Series? You'll miss one.
I hope not.
Kendrick strikes out. Friedrich with the second out in the 6th inning, and that'll bring up Ethier.
Coors Field available year-round for special events, and most of the areas of the ballpark can be reserved. Call 303 Rockies for more information. Bring your group and bring your event out to Coors Field.
You know, one of our pilots, good friend of ours, Jim McBride, wishes you all the best. He was wondering, he's coming by tomorrow. He thought this was your last game.
No. I'm going to be here through the end of the year. So I'll be heading out to Arizona and San Francisco.
Here's a strike on Ethier. Ethier fly ball to right field, robbed of a hit by Rafael Inoue, laid out. Strike count on Ethier. One and two. Boy, big series this weekend down in Houston at Minute Maid. Texas is leading the Astros 6-2 in the 5th. Rafi got there and it eluded his glove. Out on that outfield grass, so Ethier reaches. That'll be a hit. Let's check our Data Strong fan photo of the night, brought to you by T-Mobile.
Who is that?
That's Natalie with Dinger. There you go.
Adjusting.
Carl Crawford, single and a ground ball to first. And moving up on the swing and a miss. It'll be a wild pitch. And Ethier takes second.
Dead on center field. Let's watch him track this curveball. It's a hard slider, excuse me, down in the dirt. And Murph just dropped it. Everything fundamentally sound. Just hit off the thumb of the glove and scored it away enough that it allowed Ethier to advance.
Look out. Oh, knocked out by Adames. Inoa, as he's going to pick it up, eyeballing, as he should, Ethier, who was rounding third. So a base hit by Crawford, and they're 2 on for Grandal.
I'll tell you what, talk about close. Friedrich able to get his back down, natural reaction, and knock that ball down. Great job by Adames to get into the glove on the baseball. Subaru Supermo brought you that. They keep the score 7-1.
George, what are you ripping up, George?
What are you tearing up, Drew? Why'd you do that?
Oh, these stats were not
yesterday.
Accurate. Yeah.
Oh. Well, that's your job every day when we come in the booth. Put stats out.
I thought I had done it already. Grandal, 2 on and 2 outs. Takes ball 1. Switch hitting catcher. Grandal from the right side is hitting .320 from the left side, where he gets far more ABs. He's hitting .235. 285 at bats, lefty, just 50 righty. 15 of his 16 home runs have come from the left side. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Don't forget about Fan Appreciation Day this Sunday. Every fan is automatically entered into a drawing for Rockies merchandise and autographed items just for attending the ball game. So make sure you get out to the last home game of 2015.
And this one goes to Murphy, and scoring is Ethier. That, I think, will be a pass ball. It should be. And that, I mean, if you ask Tom Murphy later on, he'll tell you, I got to block that.
I'll tell you, look at it from center field again. This is a hard-working young catcher, very widespread behind home plate. And it just scooted. It just missed it. You know, a lot of times what you look for, he thought that ball was right out in front of him. See, what a lot of catchers do, and when I say a lot, 99.9%, when they go to block, the eyes will blink, and you anticipate where you think the ball is, versus keeping your eyes and your head down. It looked like that time Tom's head got a little bit raised. It's allowed him to lose sight of the baseball.
Well, they're giving a wild pitch to Friedrich, but that's a ball, again, that has to be blocked. Side 38,145 at the ballpark tonight on a perfect Friday night, late September. Three and 2 on Grandal. Broken bat.
Like it splintered right off the end of the bat.
That misses, so Grandal goes to first, and Jock Peterson coming up. This is one of those scary deals. This guy can hit the ball a mile. In fact, of guys with 15 or more home runs in the big leagues this year, the average distance of Jock Peterson's home runs is the highest in baseball. Gives you an idea what kind of pop he has.
Brooks Brown is the one warming up down in the bullpen. Chris Heisey is in the on-deck circle. Of course, Donnie's got quite a few guys to choose from over at his dugout tonight. He used Guerrero earlier. And he's got quite a few if they try to switch things around.
Jock Peterson, second to Mike Piazza in rookie home runs. Piazza hit 35 back in '93. And a strike. Peterson a walk and a comebacker. Crawford at second. Grandal at first. 7-2. Called strike. For me, I'm going to make him hit four sliders in a row in the outer half of the plate. I just think you make a mistake, a fastball up, and you're looking at a chance for damage. Just make him hit the slider. Take it corner off, corner off, corner off. Eventually, he's going to swing at it. Wow, good pitch. Really good pitch. I don't know how he didn't swing. I don't know how he didn't swing either. And it caught the bottom half of the forward strike zone at 87 miles an hour. Two and two. Ground ball to Mornell. That will get the Rockies off the field. There was a run in the inning, so it's 7-2. There's the Frazier clan. Mom, where'd you go? With 3 home runs tonight. In fact, they all came in the same inning, the 4th. Charlie Blackmon hit his 17th. Cargo hit his 38th. And then Corey Dickerson, a couple doors down, hit his 8th. We ever get a distance, Dougie, on that home run from Dickerson? That's our Cooney Lexus look back. And in the 6th inning, guess who's leading off? Charlie Blackmon again. He's trying to add on. Ian Thomas, 2nd inning of work. Got another question for Dougie. Let me see what it is. Okay. from his much better half. Okay, stats man. What time was our daughter born?
This ain't good, Dougie.
I can tell you who had the last inside the park grand slam. Who the 4 guys are in the Hall of Fame at 3,000. What time was Elizabeth born?
I'm going to say 5:38 a.m. I know I was up for about 2 days.
Were you awake?
Yeah, I was awake. It was bright and early. I'm saying 5:38.
Final answer?
5:36.
5:36? Final answer?
I'm going to stick with 5:36.
You want to call a lifeline like your wife?
I'm going to need one when I get home.
Yeah. Lindsay, Doug's final answer, 5:36 a.m. Tweet us. Let us know how he did.
Please do.
Let us know if he needs to sleep over at my house.
Yeah, you had a barn out back.
That's where he's staying.
Yeah.
0-2 on Blackmon. Oh, I missed it. There was a hashtag doghouse on there, too. Did you see that? Or barn, whatever. Nicely played. Good job, Lindsay. Second inning for Ian Thomas. Blackmon reached on an error walk, and then that home run you just witnessed. Doug, don't feel bad. In the interest of full disclosure, when Jacob was born, Chris, we were in the hospital, and I mean, she was fine. I mean, she wasn't even close. I mean, her water broke, but she wasn't close. And so she's walking around, and it's fairly late. Swung on and missed. And I watched the late news, and she's down the hallway walking with her mom. I fell asleep. Next thing I know, they're waking me up, and I mean,
Are you
it
serious?
was game on. Yeah.
Doug, imagine him being late.
I wasn't late.
Can you imagine
there.
that?
I'm shocked.
I was there.
Yeah.
I just dozed off for a little
shocked.
bit because nothing was happening.
It's not a good time to doze off.
Drew Dickerson's home run, 453 feet.
453 on Dickerson's big fly. All right. Here's Christian Adames from the right side. 3 strikeouts in a row for Ian Thomas. Christian looking for his first knock tonight. He's swung it well since being called up from Albuquerque. There's a base hit. Oh, I thought it was going to be cleaner than that off of Jimmy Rollins' glove. It'll be a hit. Got it off the end of the bat a little bit.
Yeah, just overran the baseball, caught him right on the heel after he took off, and then the ball just died all of a sudden. Jimmy one last leap, flipped off, and went out into the outfield. Not able to complete the play. Utley's like, hey, I'm pretty excited. They can go actually play second. They put the shift on for Cargo.
Cargo, perfect night. Single and a run scored. Walk and a run scored. And the home run to center field. Rockies with the 3 home runs in the 4th inning. It's the second time they've hit 3 home runs in an inning this year. They did it against the Reds on July 26th. Fargo had a good hack there. .38 and 91. We'd love to see him finish on those weeks he's capable of having. Pop fly to Peterson in shallow center. 2 outs. And that'll bring up Nolan.
All the kids get in here and then they start whispering and everything. Started thinking Georgia was 4, Parker was like 7, Matt was 14, Brian was 12 when they first threw Cracker Jacks out of this booth.
That's right. We're coming
Is that
up
the
on,
craziest thing in the world?
We're coming up on the Cracker Jack.
Oh,
talk.
don't suck your gut in because he said on camera. What is that all about? He seemed like, oh, I'm going to buff up a little bit.
He does triathlons.
Oh,
and
I
rides
know.
all
There
the
isn't an
time.
ounce of fat on
No,
any of
he
them.
doesn't need to suck his gut. Are you kidding me?
It's
You,
all-
you on the other hand.
I got one ab. It's about 15 inches. It's perfect. Worked hard to get all that in 60 years plus. See?
We got a lot of the dirt out last night.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. Parker's hiding over there in the background. He's just being shy. Him and Brian are hiding.
It's hard to miss.
Are both of you in witness protection? You can come in.
Is he taller than you now?
Who?
Parker.
Yes. Yes, he is. He is. See?
No gossiping.
This is not good. All the girls. No, this isn't good.
No gossiping.
No. Can you see how many of my grandchildren I can make cry hitting fungos after I retire? Get in front of it.
I'm sure you do that now.
No.
2 strikes on Arenado with 2 outs. A tie, 1 and 2. Well, after Georgia told the story earlier that she couldn't have any dinner until she threw 30 strikes.
Yeah.
It's cruel and unusual punishment.
No. She threw
actually,
strikes.
you know what? You know how I want
I
it.
multiplied times 3.
I kind of liked it.
Yeah. I never set the chair in the street, though. That's what I used to do with all the boys. Sit the chair in the street. If you miss me, you got to go get it.
It's catch, not fetch.
That's right. So maybe we ought to just put all the kids on and let them do it and see how hard this is. Stump Dougie.
Dougie, what's the score, by the way? He hasn't been stumped, really.
No, he hadn't done well. And not knowing his daughter's time of birth, it was only a year ago, wasn't good either.
Did Lindsay
He's
tweet
helping
back?
you out.
Good eye. 3 and 2. Dickerson will be next if Arenado can reach. Adames off with the pitch. And that is a fair ball. Utley throws him out. We are through 6 innings. And the Rockies have a 7-2
See y'all
lead.
get on camera. See y'all over there. Brian, you're hiding. Get on camera.
Chase Utley and Jimmy Rollins. Donnie Mattingly, who we have great respect for. You know, it's not easy sometimes managing in LA, but he learned what it's like playing in New York, where he was a phenomenal player for the Yankees. So yesterday, down 3-0 after 80 pitches and 5 innings on a real hot day in LA, he takes Clayton Kershaw out, and Kershaw was visibly upset. This played out on television, and was, you know, arguing with Donnie as to why he should stay in the game. And you really appreciate and respect Kershaw wanting to keep going. I mean, he's arguably, I don't even know if you can argue, he's the best pitcher in baseball. And he was hot. He ended up ultimately getting the win, because even though they were down 3-0 in the bottom of the 5th inning, Chris Heisey hit a grand slam. But Donnie was mindful of the heat, and the playoffs are 10 days away, basically. And yeah, that guy wants to go through 120 pitches, whatever it will take to help his team out. He just felt like, we got to start preparing for the postseason. It's been hot. It's given up 3. We're down 3-0. We'll go with a pinch hitter.
I can understand both sides of it, and I understand Donnie's side of it. And I understand Clayton Kershaw's side of that. He didn't want to leave the ball game, but ultimately, like you said, he got the win.
Sam Schebler, pinch hitting, grounds out in second against Brooks Brown. And here are the numbers on Brooks.
Pretty good year going for Brooks so far. You see 30 2/3. He spent some time in AAA where he was injured on a rehab that finished the year up there in Albuquerque. Recalled. 33rd game for him to appear in. Friedrich worked an inning, gave up a earned run.
Utley is 1 for 2. He doubled a ground rule double to the opposite field in the 5th. On the outside corner, a strike, 1-1. Dodgers 20-9 since August 25th. That's the best record in baseball. Interestingly, they're below 500 on the road. They're 35-39 on the road. They haven't been below 500 out on the road since 2010. 2-2 on Utley. Dodgers 11-5 against the Rockies this year. 5-2 in fact here at 20th and Blake. 3-2 on Utley. Walt Weiss, Don Mattingly. Plot and plan these final 3 innings. That's where the chess game takes place between the dugouts.
And it depends on how the game turns out. I mean, it's a 5-run ball game now. If it's still 5 runs, you go to the left side. The guys you brought up from AAA, the guys that late call-ups, you go eat up a couple of innings here. And you know, if not, if it gets to be a 7-4, 7-5 game, then you're going to go another direction. It's Tim Wallach's his bench coach, and for Walt Weiss, Tommy Reynolds, and Steve Foster, they'll try to figure it out on the other side.
And a walk to Utley. Let's check in again at center field with Spilly.
Well, that's a good at bat right there by Chase Utley. So speaking of hitters, Dougie, we have another question for you. What was George Frazier's lifetime slugging percentage?
Did I have one?
Well, you did. You did, George. Your slugging percentage was the same as your batting average.
146?
143. That's exactly right. Because you had 3 hits and 21 at bats, which is a 143 average. And slugging percentage is total bases divided by at-bats, and 3 total bases divided by 21 at-bats is also 3 for 21,
you said you hit one off the wall.
Spilly, by the way, no, they caught it. Spilly, by the way.
Yeah.
I was 0 for 1 trying to steal a base, too.
Why were you stealing a base?
Because Denier was going to lead off the next inning.
Oh, so they
wanted the top
sacrifice
guy.
you?
Yeah, no, yeah,
that's
just
a good
make the
idea.
3rd out. Kind of like what we'd like to see the Dodgers do here.
And
Instead,
Jimmy Rollins with a base hit.
Another one. Came up that triple early in the ballgame.
Did that ball, were you looking at that, Spilly? Did that skip off Hinoa's glove, Cargo's throw right to Adames?
I was looking down, just marking down my scorebook, so I missed that one.
Maybe it was an optical illusion.
It was an optical illusion. Put those things on you call glasses. Never touched it.
No, he didn't touch it. Never mind. Oops. Oopsie.
Well, Walt Weiss said
he wants a lefty to face Adrian Gonzalez.
He's got Rex Brothers ready to go down in the bullpen.
So 2 on and 1 out for the Dodgers in the 7th. And we will take a break. 7-2 Colorado.
You had it out in the yard last night.
Yeah, we did. Cornhole. Adrian Gonzalez coming up against Rex Brothers. We get tacos, fans. The Rockies have hit the magic number of 7. Don't forget to go to your participating Taco Bell locations tomorrow between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. Limas at Taco Bell.
Now, Rex Brothers has owned Adrian Gonzalez in his career. He's 0 for 5. Rex making his 13th appearance, 235 earned run average. He has struck out 4, walked 7. That's the one bugaboo that Rex has had to fight this year. And see if he can come on and shut this inning down.
Sliders in a little bit. It's a 2-0, and that's down 3-0.
Scott Obert's warming up from Kendrick down in the bullpen. Rex is unable to get Adrian Gonzalez. He's going to miss ball 4.
Now that loads above for Kendrick. with a lefty on deck. In fact, 2 lefties on deck, and then Grandal, a switch hitter, doesn't get as many at bats from the right side. Walt sticks with Rex Brothers. Kendrick 1 for 3, a single in the first. Real good numbers at Coors Field for the former Angel. And this ball is lined to right center field. It's going to score 2. And the Dodgers are within 3-7 of 4. RBIs 53 and 54 for Kendrick.
Both those runs will be charged to Brooks Brown. Took the location of this pitch out of the hand of Rex Brothers, pretty much center, and allowed Kendrick to push that ball to the right side into the outfield. And that's going to get 2 across and keep Adrian at second base. Andre Ethier has been called back. Walt waiting for him. He has been announced.
Yeah, he's going to see Justin Turner. Tying run coming up in Turner. Been battling a knee issue, though they say it's pretty much healthy again. Yeah, Walt counters. If he counters, he's going to. So it'll be Oberg coming in to face Turner. A 7-4 game. And it's like
Rockies try to close the rest of this ball game out. Purchase this special ticket package in the first 500 to visit the rooftop check-in table will receive a free pair of St. Patty's Day sunglasses. Visit Rockies.com/Irish to purchase those. Yeah, trying to close this thing out 7-4. The rooftops jamming again tonight here at Coors Field. Everybody waiting on fireworks and hoping the Rockies can hold on to this 7-4 lead here in the top of the 7th inning.
One out, Scott Oberg to face Justin Turner.
Oberg making his 60th appearance of the year. Think about that. 60 games he's appeared in here at Coors Field, and he spent time in AAA this year. He's seen a lot of ball games, a lot of innings. Turner, like a lot of pinch hitters, is going to try to ambush that first fastball. If it's in that zone, he likes it.
He's down. He's hitting .318 with runners in scoring position. 13 against right-handed pitching this year. And this is sliced off the glove of Morneau. He's going to get the out. And they're 2 gone. Gonzalez to third, Kendrick to second. And that'll bring up Carl Crawford.
It was sliced and a pretty nice play. A lot of spin on this baseball for Justin Morneau, able to fight it off the glove, pick it with the leather, and then throw over to Oberg to get the out.
First baseman on both sides have had some tough chances tonight. Crawford 2 for 3. 337 lifetime average against the Rockies in 29 games. Two and 0. And routine ground ball there. Good job by Oberg. Morneau runs to the bag. In the inning, 2 runs. Could have been worse. 7-4. Stretch time at Coors Field.
Marino, stump Dougie. Eventually it'll get here. The question is for McCaffrey, who was the last player to get intentionally walked with the bases loaded? It wasn't me, I promise you that.
Who was the last player intentionally walked?
Yeah, with the bases loaded.
Brett May.
Brett May.
It's only happened 6 times. It's only happened twice since
Well,
the end of World War II.
Who was hitting in front of Barry Bonds?
Buck Showalter. In 2008, Josh Hamilton got walked intentionally.
He did with the bases loaded.
Yep.
Who did it?
It's only, I'm not sure who did it. I know Hamilton did it. I know that it's only happened 6 times, and I know that every time that it's happened, the team that walked the guy on purpose won the game.
So you should do that. That's great.
Showalter famously did it with Barry. I forgot the Hamilton one.
Yep.
Spilly, do something. Find out who the manager was.
Of which game? And there's 6 times.
No, the one with Hamilton, most recent one.
Oh. Yeah, I could get on that one.
Yeah, I can do it.
I thought that was Doug's job.
I'm on it. And I want you to know that my baby was born at 5:38. I had it.
You said
but
36.
You switched it to 36.
I switched it.
Only because you guys made me second guess myself.
Listen, we played the millionaire rules. We said final answer. You said final answer. You lose, you're sleeping in the doghouse.
I'm sleeping in the doghouse. You ain't
Dougie,
kidding.
one more question. Who is the last Rockies player to hit the cycle at Coors Field?
The last Rockies player to hit the cycle was at Cargo.
I'm hoping it's Corey Dickerson.
Good one.
I'm not sure. He's up right now. He needs a triple.
Spilly, see you tomorrow, buddy. You're done, I guess, for the night with us on Stump Dougie.
Oh, you'll see me when I do my on-field interview.
Oh, good.
You're gonna
for
get
the cycle.
Yeah, you're going to get splashed.
Well, actually, you know where I'm going.
Kadire hit the cycle.
Kadire was the last. There you go.
Kadire at the cycle.
Where are you going, George?
Did Dougie win, by the way?
Yeah,
Dougie
won. Of course he won.
Yeah, but he had a computer. You didn't. That's not fair.
That's why he's on our team. We have winners up here, Spilly. He's on our team.
Former Rocky Peralta, Joel Peralta, is on the hill now for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Hey, Spilly, good job. We'll see you in a little bit.
You got it, guys. I'll be down the camera well if you need me.
All right, bud. Yep, there is Joel Peralta. One and two on Dickerson. The way the Dodgers can swing it wouldn't be a bad idea to tack on a little bit.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, Peralta's always had a very good split finger. Pretty good velocities. There's that split swing and a miss. Acts an awful lot like a spitball with the late snap break on.
We'll bring up Justin Morneau with one out. A walk, reached on an error and scored, and hit a ball to the wall in right center. Next inch closer to capturing the NL East. 12-5 victory over Cincinnati. Noah Syndergaard, 2 runs over 7 2/3. He struck out 11, did not walk a batter.
Justin Miller's warming up in the Rockies bullpen.
Good breaking ball.
Peralta was rehabbing in Tulsa the last week of the season when they're AA affiliate of the Dodgers. So look at Justin Miller.
Garrett Cole got that win.
You got it working, doesn't he?
Yeah,
they got it working. Did you do that, Drew?
DJ? Yeah. I like that.
He's having fun on the rooftop, I'll tell you that.
0-2 on Morneau. And swung on a miss. Peralta with the back-to-back strikeouts here in the 7th. That'll bring up Tom Murphy, 1 for 3. Cole's 18-8 for the Pirates.
San Francisco was up 2-0. Sonny Gray started for Oakland. Oakland's now up 3-2.
Still 6-2 Texas at Minute Maid over Houston.
Cardinals are tied at 3 in St. Louis against Milwaukee. Arizona all over San Diego 6-0.
So 1-0 to Tom. And that's a strike. dominates the Rockies in the bottom of the 7th. 3 strikeouts. 7-4 Colorado as we go to the 8th. Images of the 4th inning. The Rockies hit 3 home runs in the 4th. It was Blackman, Cargo, and Dickerson. Colorado 7 and the Los Angeles Dodgers 4. First to 3 over the weekend between the Rockies and Los Angeles. Yasmani Grandal in the 8th inning to face Justin Miller.
Coming on to pitch again. He's been a workhorse for the Rockies of late. 30th game for him to appear in. 1-1 in save situations. 3.41 earned run average over 29 innings, 35 strikeouts.
Fouled off by Grandal. Jock Peterson on deck. Rockies were up 7-1. Run in the 6th, 2 in the 7th for the Dodgers. You know, his name's not mentioned much anymore. It doesn't look like he's going to play, George, the rest of the year. Yasiel Puig. He's not 100% from that hamstring injury. He's been out a long time.
And it's not going to do any good to throw him out there. If he's not ready to go, he's not ready to go. Then you know, if he gets hurt again, you got to keep people sharp. And I mean, it's if he's not ready, it's one of the hard things about it.
Yeah, one of the biggest names in baseball the last 2 years.
By the way, real quick, I want to say happy birthday to Mike Ponarelli and Paul Eakins. Happy birthday.
They share a birthday.
Yeah.
Tiny, happy birthday. Eags, happy birthday. Rockies have a great traveling secretary, Paul Eakins, and Michael Ponarelli. There's Eags.
Yep.
And Tiny, head of visiting clubhouse operations. This is live toward Cargo, and he's got it. 1 out. Well, there's Joe West. Joe's been around forever. Country Joe West can sing a little bit. And last night there were some borderline pitches that Madison Bumgarner thought he should have, and it was a stare down. Look at this. A stare down between Madison and Joe West.
So what is he doing? He wants to throw him out or what?
It went 17 seconds, that stare down. Now, isn't it Joe's good umpire. I'm not trying to get on, but put your mask on. It's not right. I mean, he could be angry. He didn't say anything. He just stared.
Well, here's the thing I'll pose to you. If it's not Madison Bumgarner, it's a young pitcher, what do you think happens?
He probably not staring at him, and if he does,
he's looking at the back of his jersey.
Well, yeah, he's going to get tossed.
Right, but it's Madison Bumgarner. He knows that they're in a pennant race. He didn't like what was said. Madison snapped at him pretty good.
Now, this is earlier. Jimmy Rollins gets a triple, and he just saw Jimmy staring at Joe.
That's beautiful. I doubt if Joe thought that was very funny. Because I'm going to tell you, Joe was, I'll be quite honest with you, a tough umpire. Cargo will track this and right side. He was a tough umpire. When he first came up, you couldn't ask him what the count was. You couldn't ask him anything. He's upset about the whole world.
That was funny. That's a good catch by our crew. I had wait. Because Mike Fox, our producer, said, hey, here's Jimmy Rollins hitting a triple earlier. And so I know Joe West at third. And I'm saying, okay, well, what's going to happen? And I'm going, Mike, what's going on? Nothing's happening. And I realized the whole deal.
There you go.
Took me a moment. Sam Shebler stayed in the game in right field for Ethier. I said Sam. Scott Shebler. And Morning grabs it. And a good solid inning from Justin Miller. Got a little help from his right fielder. 7-4 Colorado. Sports is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by Mike Shaw Subaru, always our lowest price and sales and service guaranteed. More than 38,000 in the ballpark tonight. The Rockies lead the Dodgers 7-4. And a breaking ball from Peralta. Second inning work for Peralta's in there for a strike on Rafael Ynoa. Peralta struck out the side in the seventh. Goodman, George Frazier, Ryan Spilborghs, Doug Marino.
Big part of the show tonight. Big part.
He's always a big part, but he's got to be more vocal than normal.
trying to get caught up in this book here. There's been all kinds of things going on tonight. Switching guys in and out. Notice the one thing, Peralta, what he's done in this ball game. Worked ahead in the count every time.
Ahead 0-2. Noah fouls that one off. Dodgers 87 wins entering the ball game tonight. Peterson. Bet Paulson's going to be the pinch hitter. Hit single and RBI yesterday. Dent fouls it off. Fireworks to follow, man.
See,
they're all fired up.
I like the hat on the right, the mountaintops. They quit having those at the ballpark about 2000, but that used to be one of the big giveaways. The Rocky Mountains on top of batting helmet.
One and two.
Crisscross. Had the umpire ducked, Rendall ducked.
You get crisscross with nobody on base.
Because he just didn't see the sign.
Two and two on Paulson.
Tell you what, he buries it in the zone, doesn't he?
Yes, tonight. He's punched out 4 out of 5. Here's our Jimmy John's delivery of the game. We go back to the 4th inning when the Rockies played Pepper with the Seats. First it was the 17th for Charlie Blackmon. Chuck Nasty going second deck. Cargo hit one over the center field wall is 38. And Corey Dickerson back and healthy. Hit one 452 feet. Here's Blackmon. John Axford has worked quite a bit the last couple of days. Is up along with Boone Logan.
Yeah, up to the pitcher to be able to pass along the information to his manager. Yes, I'm good to go.
Utley, Rollins, Adrian Gonzalez. 2 out of the 3 are left-handed. You know, the Marlins tonight, George, beat Atlanta down in South Florida 12-11. Jose Fernandez got the win.
Wow.
He's the first. On pop-up.
Misread.
Yeah, who's going to get there? Peterson, man, all the way in right field. He's the first pitcher in the modern era to win his first 17 career home decisions. Pretty amazing. We'll go to the ninth. The Rockies trying to close out the Dodgers up 7-4.
And in sticking with the congratulating George Frazier theme, we thought we'd come up with some Georgisms to tell you what's coming up on the Toyota postgame show. So Corey Dickerson right now, a triple shy of the cycle. George, it looks like he traded his bat in for a 100-mile-an-hour boat paddle tonight. What do you think of that one?
One of our favorites.
And then Carl Crawford, he started to stop, but then Nolan Arenado's defense got in the way. And there were 3 home runs by the Rockies in 1 inning tonight. Guess where they landed? Out there in nowhere man's land.
That's right, nowhere
man's land.
Jenny, I got to tell one that didn't get on the air, didn't get in the meeting last night, that you'll appreciate this, and I apologize to all women right now, but they used to have Big O tire night at the ballpark. Ladies get in free or half price. What was it, half price? It's odd. They tell me to do my Rockies read, and I go, okay, Friday night's big old lady night at the ballpark.
Big old lady night.
Yeah, and I got in a little trouble.
Oh,
they were all mad at me, but
George.
they know. I love you all. They know better.
Did they look at you like you were a deer with headlights on?
Yes.
That's another good George one.
That was good. You worked that one in.
You did great.
What else can we sneak in?
Enjoy working with you, sister. We'll have some fun.
Do you
got a little more work to go.
Do you think everything that George was thinking tonight was in his head?
How about the one the other day? Kenny Miller did the top 10 list last night of Georgisms, and he originally had one that was seated at number 8 from several years ago, and you outdid that one a couple days ago.
His foot was right there.
No, Starling Marte. Remember this? Starling Marte had something caught in his eye.
Right. Yeah.
He said, looks like there's something else in his eye other than his eyeball.
Well, there was. Did you know what I meant? He had something in his eye.
Yes, I did.
Something in his eye works sometimes.
Other than an eyeball.
But it wouldn't be a Georgism.
Thank you.
If you didn't say
I appreciate you.
George, we're going to miss you, man.
Well, I'll be back around to bother you.
I know you will.
You'll think it's a homeless guy coming in, but I'll be back around.
I can't wait for that
beard.
Guys. Can't wait for that beard. We'll see you guys after the game.
All right, Jenny. We'll see you in a minute. Corey's with Jenny tonight. John Axford on for the 58th time, 3rd night in a row, trying to close this one out. Chase Utley with a 1-strike count. He's got the sticky part of the order.
Well, it's a veteran part of the order. They're going to work you. They're going to make you throw strikes. They're not going to chase balls in the dirt like maybe some of the younger kids you might catch in September.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because the Dodgers, one of the things they do well, they have a very high on-base percentage. 1 and 2. Veteran teams typically do.
They do. Veteran teams that win, they got guys that can do some things. Watched it over and over the course of the years, and it's pretty simple. Utley's 0 for 3 in his career against John Axford. We get 0 for 4.
Blackman at center waiting. He's got out number 1 in the ninth.
Nice. Thank you. Very nice. It was great. The family, we all had a great time. Really enjoyed this. And the Rockies and Root Sports outdid themselves. It was wonderful. Love that microphone. That is so cool.
That was a fun time. 1 out. And Jimmy Rollins at the plate to face John Axford. Rollins had a good night. 3 hits, couple singles, and a triple. 3 for 4. And the 1-2.
Pretty good heat there. Good location too. 96-mile-an-hour heater, inner half.
Angels playing a big ball game tonight and the rest of the way, trying to sneak into that wild card spot. They're a game and a half behind Houston, and they lead Seattle at the Big A 4-3 tonight. Another 1-2 coming up to J-Roll. Good pitch. Just missed, and it's 2-2. The changeup. He doesn't throw many of those.
Nope. Give him a different look at some things.
Curveball, 3-2. Swung on and missed. Axford on a 3-2 pitch. Strikes out Rollins. 2 outs in the ninth.
Great location. He had a swing and a foul off on a 96-mile-an-hour inside heat. We're right back in again, too. Rollins could not catch up to this fastball. Good angle, good down plane, good results.
That'll bring up Adrian Gonzalez. Rockies fans standing.
A great crowd, 38,000 here to watch the Rockies beat the Dodgers and watch some fireworks.
And strike 1 on Gonzalez. Adrian 0 for 3 and a walk. Did drive in a run with a ground out in the first inning. Dodgers went up 1-0 early. Rockies tied it in the bottom of the first, 3 in the third, 3 in the fourth. Hits are even at 9. Here's the 1-1 outside, 2-1. Fouls this off. It's a 2-2 count. David Hale started with 5 innings, allowed just 1 run. Axford's trying to save it for him. Here's the 2-2. Fastball at 96 is high. 3-2. Here's the payoff pitch. Sharply hit, diving stop, and Adames gets it to first. Ball game over. What a great play to end it. So the Rockies defeat the Dodgers tonight 7-4. Axford with his 25th save. David Hale gets the victory. He's 5-5.